The National Broadcasting Company presents the National Football League. Today from Rich Stadium, it's the New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. Brought to you by the new generation of Oldsmobile. Step into the future now at your Oldsmobile dealer. By Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And by AT&T, the right choice.
Today, a match between two longtime rivals, the division-leading Bills and the up-and-down Patriots. It has been feast or famine for New England, with Doug Flutie now at quarterback. Flutie's passing and scrambling runs have led the Patriots to wins over the Colts and last week over the previously unbeaten Bengals. But Flutie and company also produced a 45-3 loss to the then winless Green Bay Packers. Today against Buffalo, the Patriots faced one of the NFL's best defenses, led by All-Pro end Bruce Smith, who personally wrecked the Jets offense on Monday night. And the Bills' offense has come alive the last 2 weeks, especially the Jim Kelly to Andre Reed long-range connection. This afternoon, Kelly is looking for his third straight 300-yard, 3-touchdown passing day. It's the fifth consecutive sellout at Rich Stadium. A crowd of 80,000 expected on a gray, cold, sometime rainy afternoon in Buffalo. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rich Stadium. Tom Hammond with former All-Pro center John Morris, ready to bring you, John, what shapes up as a very important game in the AFC East.
A very important game at the halfway point in the season. The Buffalo Bills can run away and hide from the rest of the division if the Patriots don't win this one. Patriots trailing by 3, desperately need a win against this team today.
Buffalo Bills look great in a Monday night win over the New York Jets, but can they recover emotionally this quickly?
Boy, were they pumped up for that game. A national television audience saw it. The New York Jets certainly saw it, too. But it's so important through the course of a 16-game season to keep an even keel emotionally. If you don't do that, teams can sneak up on you. The Cincinnati Bengals found that out last week against the Patriots.
The Patriots have been up and down. They've especially struggled on the road. But how do we predict which New England team will be here today?
Well, there's the rub. Which team is going to show up for the Patriots? In Green Bay, they lost 45-3. They threw 5 interceptions as a team. So last week against Cincinnati, they went conservative, tried to run the ball, did it very successfully. Doug Flutie only threw 14 passes. I think today they're going to try and run the ball. I don't think they're going to have a lot of success, and eventually they're going to have to throw it. The first meeting between these two teams at Foxborough earlier this season resulted in a Buffalo 16-14 win, breaking an 11-game losing streak against New England. You had a look at Sammy Martin, who's deep for the Patriots, who have won the toss, and Scott Norwood and his kickoff team getting ready to line up for the Buffalo Bills. Norwood's field goal with 11 seconds left, 41 yards out, won that first meeting 16-14 over New England at Foxborough. Buffalo Bills with a 6-run record off to their best start since 1974 when they were 7-1. This kickoff sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Kick bounces once and then taken by Martin. He slips down but gets up and keeps going. He's got some room to the outside. Flag down as Martin is taken to the turf at about the 42-yard line. It rained about a half hour before kickoff, and the field obviously is slippery. Scott Norwood is the man that had to make the saving tackle on Martin. Not going to count, though. Good effort by Martin, but unfortunately, I think they got Marvin Allen for an illegal block, so that'll move it back. It's a good point, though, Tom. It's sort of a little bit drizzly out there. It was sunny before the game started. Now it started to rain.
Pat Haggerty with a call, a holding call on Marvin Allen of the Patriots. And here you look at the offensive lineup. Flutie presents some problems with his scrambling runs. Look for the rookie John Stevens to get plenty of work today. Fryer, the leading receiver, awoke at 3 a.m. this morning with a touch of the flu. On the offensive line, Matic, a converted center, replaces Danny Villa, and will need some help with Bruce Smith today. At the 20-yard line, Patriots with a first down, and they do go on the ground. It's Stevens Pounds forward for about 4 yards before he is stacked under by blue shirts, led by Bentley, one of the linebackers. Let's take a look at the Buffalo defense, featuring 6 #1 draft choices. Up front, the S's spell sacks for the Bills, 3 of the best in the game there on the defensive line. The linebackers for the Bills are also a strength, led by second-year, first-round picks Bennett and Conlon. And in the secondary, the hard-hitting Leonard Smith has been a welcome addition. Kelso has 4 interceptions. Second down and 6 for the Patriots. Perryman in motion. Stevens tries to get outside. Hit, bounces off a tackler, brings it out to the 27-yard line before Nate Odoms gets him down. Good running by the rookie John Stevens out of Northwest Louisiana.
Good effort by Stevens because they had tried to run right at Bruce Smith. They're going to find out early, can we run at Bruce Smith? And that's what they did. Actually, he makes a nice play as you watch him here against Lynn Dawson. He gets a double team from the tackle as well. Really controlling the line of scrimmage is Bruce Smith. Doesn't make the play, though. Good effort by Stevens. But isn't it interesting? They tried to test him right away. Go right at Bruce Smith.
He fought off the blockers, but Stevens, with a good job of running, eluded the all-pro defensive end. Lynn Dawson, Steve Johnson, a couple of tight ends in on 3rd and 1 for New England. Moody hands again to Stevens, and he's stopped for no gain. 3 straight running plays to Stevens for the Patriots, but they don't pick up enough for the first down. Fred Smerlas to nose tackle, and Cornelius Bennett from an outside linebacking spot right there to put the clamps on John Stevens.
Crucial play early in the game for the Patriots. They're trying to establish that run. Can't do it. Double team on number 78. Once again, he'll get hit by the back. You see what they're doing to take care of this all-pro, but the rest of the Buffalo Bills take care of business. No first down.
So a punting situation for Jeff Fiegels, the rookie out of Miami for New England. You see his average 38.7, that 74-yarder against Indianapolis, the best in the league this year. Errol Tucker is deep for the Buffalo Bills. Fiegels gets his kick away, a high kick, not too deep. Tucker calls for a fair catch and takes it at the Buffalo 32-yard line. Pretty good field position for the Buffalo Bills. The punt covered 40 yards from Fiegels. Here's a look at the Buffalo offense now. Kelly has been sensational the last 2 games. With 42 catches, Andre Reed, the top receiver in the AFC. Thomas is the top rusher. Byram replaces the injured Jamie Mueller at fullback. And Tremaine Johnson getting a start for Burkett, who's injured. The offensive line has been bolstered by the last 2 weeks with the return of veteran Tim Vogler from an injury. So the Bills with a first down play from their own 32-yard line. 3 plays and a punt for New England on its first possession. Maybe lost a yard. Hit by Vincent Brown, starting his first NFL game today.
Vincent Brown is filling in for one of the many injured Patriot linebackers. That's him, number 59, number 2 draft choice. What a way to start the game in his first NFL start. You'll see him, number 59, inside linebacker, reads the play quickly and gets to the outside, makes a nice hit. Of course, nobody blocked him either. Sometimes it makes it a little tougher for him if somebody blocks him.
So Byram gets the first carry for the Bills, and it's a 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12 for Buffalo. Tremaine Johnson in motion. Kelly with his first pass. Knocked away. Good defensive play by Vincent Brown again. So the rookie up to the occasion in his first NFL start. Knocks away that pass intended for Metzelars. Here's the starting defense for New England. They've been good against the pass, vulnerable to the run. Williams with 4 leads the team in sacks up front. All-Pro Andre Tippett is injured. He'll play only sparingly today, replaced by Jordan. As we said, Brown getting his first NFL start today and in on the first 2 plays. In the secondary, watch Fred Marion, who played with Kelly at the University of Miami. He has intercepted his old teammate 4 times, including 2 in the first meeting earlier this season. 3rd and 12. Kelly has the ball knocked free, and New England has it at the 20. Garen Veras was the man that fell on the ball after it was knocked free from Kelly, and it was Andre Tippett who got in on the passing situation, and for Raymond Berry's Patriots, a big break early.
Now you wonder why the Patriots have missed Tippett for the last 5 games. He's been the right of your screen here, number 56. He's been injured all season long, beats the block right there of the offensive tackle and gets a hand on the ball. He's only going to play on 3rd down plays. That was the first one. What a big one for the Patriots.
Tippett strips the ball away from Kelly. In the first meeting, Tippett went went out in the second half with an injury, and Kelly promptly hit on 11 of 12 passes, so they need Tippett in on that passing defense. There you see what they have done with and without Tippett. He makes a big difference. First down, Patriots at the 20 of Buffalo. Another running play. Stevens hit behind the line, falls forward to the line of scrimmage with Bruce Smith once again all over him.
Well, watch Bruce Smith once again, and you'll be mentioning that name, I'm sure, Tom, a lot in the course of this football game. Quickly establishing himself as probably the finest defensive end in the game. Number 78 will break in the screen here. No place for Stevens to go. A little bit of a delay there, and that allowed Smith to get in. This is a big series for the Patriots, though, Tom. They got 5 turnovers last week against Cincinnati. They got 4 in the first half and got 2 touchdowns out of it. They desperately need one here if they get an easy turnover as they just got.
They've had 4 plays from scrimmage. John Stevens has run on all 4. Fumbled snap, the ball loose, flags are down. Buffalo has the ball at the 15. Ray Bentley fell on it at the 15 after Flutie misconnected with his center Mike Babb on the exchange.
Recovered by Bentley, and there's a flag on the play.
Into the offside whistled against Buffalo, says Pat Haggerty, so that will give the Patriots the ball back.
Looked like the Bills were in a stunt. We'll listen to Pat Haggerty here.
Offside, defense, refused, first down.
They were in a stunt and they got an early start. Patriots get a real break there.
Couldn't hear who the infraction was against, perhaps Darryl Talley.
Well, it was 76 Smurless and 78 Smith were in the stunt. They might have called one of those for getting an early start.
There's Doug Flutie, who gets a reprieve after that fumbled snap from center.
It's interesting, though, Tom, they're still trying to run the ball. They got a turnover at the 20-yard line. Flutie hasn't thrown a pass yet.
Well, the offensive line, chiefly Bruce Armstrong, came to Raymond Berry and said we need to stick to the running plays. And Trevor Maddich, he knew he was in for a long afternoon against Bruce Smith.
Anybody that plays against Bruce Smith knows that after that Monday night game. Trevor Maddich is a center. He lost his job to Mike Babb. Now he's playing offensive tackle as a backup.
2nd and 5 for New England from the Buffalo 15. Fryer goes in motion. Play action pass. Flutie rolling out. He's got some room, has a first down inside the 10 of Buffalo. There's what Doug Flutie does so well.
This is why he's so dangerous. On that rollout, Cornelius Bennett just didn't know what to do. Cornelius went back in coverage, didn't know whether to stay back or come up. That causes a lot of problems for a defense.
There's Cincinnati bouncing back from its first defeat at the hands of New England a week ago to take an early lead on the Oilers in a crucial Central Division game. Tampa Bay on top, and Pittsburgh surprisingly leading Denver. Boy, the Boo Birds have been out at Three Rivers Stadium, and Steelers coach Chuck Noll has been under fire from his players and from the writers.
Even when you won 4 Super Bowls, they get on you if you don't win, huh?
Here at Rich Stadium, we're scoreless, but the Patriots are threatening. The Bills' defense has been excellent, but when opponents have first and goal situations, they have converted 8 out of 8 into touchdowns this season. First and goal from the 6. Dupard behind the line hit, shook off a tackler, and maybe got a yard to the 5. Dupard with a good effort.
That may have been a design play. As we look at it again, see if you can determine whether this play was drawn up this way. It's a sweep to the left. Maybe Bruce Smith gets in his way. Watch it again. 78, the corner of your screen, comes across the field. They're going to run a sweep to the left. I think he sees number 78 right there and says, I got to go somewhere else. Now, Flutie comes over and gets a block on Cornelius Bennett. Not a real good one, but just a little piece of him. We'll look at it again from the end zone. I think this is absolutely what happened. Bruce Smith said, no, you're not coming my way. Try the other way. There's Flutie going back. Well, almost a piece of him.
So it's 2nd down and goal from the 6-yard line. No score in the first quarter. Flutie's first pass, incomplete, intended for Fryer, and knocked away by Derek Burrows with good defensive coverage.
It's an excellent play by Derek Burrows. He's been under some pressure here from the coaches and the fans, but he made a play on that one, I'll tell you. The time pattern into the end zone. Flutie's just trying to lay it out over his shoulder to Irving Fryer. It looks momentarily as though it's a touchdown, and Burrows comes back. Good timing play, doesn't get the penalty, knocks it away.
So it's 3rd and goal coming up now for New England as you watch it from the end zone.
Fryer caught 2 touchdown passes in the opening game against the New York Jets. Has not caught a touchdown pass since then.
3rd and goal from the 6. The Bills come with 6 defensive backs, Conlon and Bennett remaining among the linebacker core in the game. Morgan goes in motion. Flutie from the shotgun hands it off to Tatutu, and He's got maybe nothing, perhaps lost a yard. The Bills not fooled on that running play from the shotgun, and Bruce Smith celebrates along with the Bills defense. And the fans respond.
Bruce does everything out there. Leads the cheers, too. Good play by the defense that time.
So Teddy Garcia is on to attempt the field goal. Garcia has hit 6 of 10 field goals this season. He's had a problem with hurrying his kicks, especially on the extra points. But this should be a chip shot for him. It'll be a 25-yard attempt.
He's got a new holder. Jeff Fiegels is the punter. Tom Ramsey, the quarterback that was cut this week, used to be his holder.
Garcia. Low kick. And he missed it. Garcia shanked it. No good. So the Patriots get a big break. They recover a fumble in scoring territory against the Bills, but Garcia missed the kick, and the Patriots come up empty. Teddy Garcia, the rookie kicker for New England, is the GOAT early, missing a chip shot field goal attempt.
I think it's getting to be a mental thing with Teddy Garcia. This is his 5th missed field goal. Watch this. It looks like he doesn't follow through. He doesn't slip so much as hop. It looks like anxiety to me. No follow through. Looks like he's almost trying to steer it through the goalpost. That's Dante Scarnecchia, the special teams coach, talking to him.
So the Bills with a lucky break as Garcia misses the field goal, and the turnover does no damage to the Buffalo chances. Here's Kelly on first down. Fires a strike to Ronnie Harmon. The ball knocked loose. New England has it. Fred Marion picked up the loose ball, and New England comes up with another Buffalo turnover. Jim Bowman knocked the ball free after Harmon had made the catch, and Marion picks it up and returns it to the Buffalo 39-yard line.
Second turnover for the Patriots in the early going. They got 5 last week against Cincinnati. There's Fred Marion. He's the one that came up with a fumble, but it was Jim Bowman that made the play. The Patriots did not take advantage of it the last time. Let's see if they can do it this time. We watch it again. Harmon on the inside. As we see it, watch what happens here. Number 28, Jim Bowman, comes over and strips this ball. Obviously completion, no question about it. But Bowman comes over and makes a nice play. And there's Fred Marion. Fred Marion has been around the ball throughout this season so far.
Absolutely. What a game he had against the Bengals a week ago. And
play stands as ruled. First down.
Pat Haggerty saying the play was reviewed upstairs on replay, and it is allowed to stand. The replay official today is Cal Lepore behind the glass in the replay booth.
I think that was an easy call for Cal that time, no question about it. Now let's see if the Patriots go as conservative as they did before and try to air it out right now.
Spot the ball at the 34-yard line of Buffalo. The ball at the 34 after Marion brought it back 9 yards on the fumble return. 10-18 remaining in the first quarter of a scoreless game in Buffalo. Here's Fryer in motion. The handoff to Perryman, who slips and falls and is covered with a flag down. Smirlis covered Perryman shortly after he got the handoff from Flutie.
This is why Smirlis is starting to play so well, because of the presence of number 78, Bruce Smith. Smith gets double teamed so many times. As we watch it again, watch what number 76 does to take advantage of it. He quickly beats the block, and there's really no place for Perryman to go. He's trying to cut back, and Smirlis is all over him.
As we noted, there was a penalty marker down, and it will be stepped off against the Buffalo Bills. Everything going wrong for the Bills so far in the first quarter, but it has yet to hurt them.
Well, if their defense can continue to do this, despite what the offense is doing to them, they'll keep them in the game.
Well, Pat Haggerty's call eluded us, but the penalty was stepped off against Buffalo, and it gives New England a first down at the 29-yard line of the Bills. It was a face mask infraction against the Buffalo Bills. Well, Flutie and his offense turned into a pumpkin on their first attempt down here in Patriot territory. Let's see if they can convert this time. Straight ahead to Perryman. Pounds forward to about the 25-yard line, where Darryl Talley takes him down with some help from a lot of people on that defensive unit of the Bills. Tony Eason has been a controversial figure this week in the New England territory.
Headlines in every Boston paper. Eason has been activated for the first time this year. He says he's not ready to play, and he may not be. So there's a big question about whether he was going to suit up and be available today. He finally decided 6 o'clock Friday night to a packed news conference in New England that, well, yes, I might suit up and be ready today.
Eason has some nerve damage in his thumb, and he said he can't properly hold the football on passes. 2nd and 7 for New England. Stevens Good hold as a flag flies. Stevens close to the first down inside the 20 of Buffalo. Shane Conlon, the leading tackler for the Bills, stops Stevens. And let's check the penalty.
Well, it's going to go against Buffalo unless the Patriots drew him offsides. Buffalo, you're right, Tom, making a lot of mistakes. The defense is playing well, but the penalties are killing them. The offense is giving the ball away to the Patriots.
Offside. Defense. Number 55. Declined. First
It's
down.
on Cornelius Bennett, number 55. We can't hear Pat Haggerty, but 55, Bennett, guilty of the offside. And John, is Buffalo perhaps flat after that big emotional win against the Jets just a few days ago?
Well, that's what everybody's looking for. It appears as though the offense is, but I'm impressed so far with what the defense is doing.
But they're making a lot of mistakes. Still some costly penalties. It's given the Patriots a first down. Stevens again powers ahead and picks up 3 or 4 yards against the middle of that defensive unit of the Bills. Here's our 10-minute ticker in Cincinnati. They aren't flat. They are bouncing right back and lead Houston 14-0. And the Oilers have Warren Moon back. Figured to be quite a tussle at Riverfront Stadium. New Orleans with an early lead. No change in those scores. Dallas leading Philadelphia. Here at Rich Stadium, scoreless first quarter, 8:43 left. 2nd and 6 for New England. Stevens has carried 6 times, 21 yards so far. Gets another chance. Hit. Still manages to get 2 or 3 yards out of it with Darryl Talley hanging on to take him down.
The Patriots continue to try and run straight at that Buffalo defense. Shane Conlon's the man in the middle right there. Awfully hard to test him. Let's see how he handles this play. Actually, it's Talley that makes the play. Ron Wooten, a nice block on Conlon, but the pursuit by Talley from the outside stops him. And they're continuing to try and see if they can muscle that Buffalo defense. Tom, I don't think the Patriots can do that throughout the course of the game.
The best play for New England so far has been a Flutie rollout. Let's see if they call it again here on 3rd and 4 from the 12-yard line of the Bills. Looks to pass. Lets it go for the end zone. Fryer, touchdown. 12-yard touchdown strike to Irving Fryer, who had beaten Leonard Smith on the play. Flutie didn't see the end of it. He was knocked down, but it goes in the books as a 2nd touchdown pass of the year.
Actually, a tremendous play by Flutie because he stays in the pocket even though he's pressured. Normally in this situation, Flutie would look for a place to run. But Smurless is on him. He's going down. He still manages to get rid of the ball. Smurless had the sack. Let's see what Flutie was looking at when he let it go. Fryer is wide open back here behind Leonard Smith. Touchdown for the Patriots. Fryer's first touchdown catch since the opening week of the season.
And his 3rd for 1988. Here's Garcia to try the extra point. That's been an adventure sometimes, too. This one, however, is good. So the Patriots do take advantage of the Buffalo Bills turnover. Irving Fryer with a touchdown catch. And the Patriots lead the Bills 7-0. Irving Fryer of the Patriots just behind that fellow on the bench there. Fryer woke up about 3 o'clock this morning, called the trainer, said he thought he was coming down with the flu, but he looked good on that touchdown catch.
Maybe he had too many red-hot chicken wings at Sestak and McGuire's last night. I don't know. But so many times from a player's point of view, Tom, when you're sick and you feel bad, it gets to be a mental thing during the game. Hey, I got to work even harder to overcome that. And maybe that's what Fryer did today because he was sure wide open on that touchdown.
Here's Garcia's kick. Taken by one of the up men and returned across the 35 to the 37 by Butch Roll, one of the reserve tight ends on this Bills team. So the Bills with pretty good field position. They have turned it over their last 2 possessions. And the Patriots taking advantage of the turnover and getting on the board, covering 34 yards in 5 plays with the touchdown pass. A great effort by Doug Flutie. And folks in the Boston area are used to those sort of plays from Doug Flutie.
They're used to him improvising and rolling out and making something out of nothing. I think that time Fryer helped him out.
From the 36, Buffalo with a first down. Byram in motion, goes the other way. Thomas. Thurman Thomas. Good run on first down. Across the 40 to the 43-yard line where Tim Jordan finally gets the rookie down. Thomas, the leading rusher for the Buffalo Bills out of Oklahoma State. He has carried for 367 yards coming into today's game. take a look here at the injured New England player and take a break with the Patriots leading the Bills 7-0. First quarter at Rich Stadium, New England leading Buffalo 7-0, but a serious injury here apparently to one of the starters on the New England defense, Garen Veras, who is having had a Pro Bowl type year last year and another excellent start in '88, being helped off the field.
He's their best lineman. They cannot afford to lose him. It looks like they have for a while. Edmund Nelson will replace him. They just picked him up on waivers. Buffalo's got to take advantage of this. There's some injuries on that Patriot defense. Kelly has got to take advantage of it now.
2nd and 3 for Kelly and the Bills offense. Byram. Pitch it to Thomas. Looking for a block. Tripped up and falls forward inside the 45 to about the 47, across the 45 to the 47, where Vincent Brown gets credit for the tackle.
Pretty good run to the outside that time. Pursuit from the inside from Johnny Rembert, but not quite in time. And Buffalo able to move the ball for the first down.
It is a Buffalo first down on the run by Thomas.
That's number 52, Johnny Rembert, the inside linebacker. He's having a terrific year for the Patriots. He's trying to make the tackle, but he gets caught up in the middle there, and just a little bit too late getting there.
Thurman Thomas with a dive, picking up the first down. The second leading rusher in Big 8 history behind Mike Rozier has given the Bills a 1st and 10. Patriots are offside. The nose tackle, Tim Goad, jumped early, the rookie out of North Carolina. That'll give the Bills a 5-yard walk-off.
Encroachment, number 72.
It's interesting to me, Tom, how Kelly and the offense is struggling against the Patriots, and they have done that historically. Even though they won the first meeting, it wasn't until right to the very end, and they finally got their first touchdown of the season in the second half. Historically, Kelly's had a hard time with the Patriots. In fact, he's only beaten them once.
James Brooks already with 2 touchdown runs for the Bengals, who bounced back with a vengeance against the Oilers today. Seven 7-0 at Rich Stadium with 6:21 left in the first quarter. Buffalo with a 1st and 5. Thomas gets a block on the corner. Breaks it to the 30-yard line of the Patriots. Johnny Rembert got him out of bounds, but give Carl Byram credit for a good block on the corner.
Good-looking rookie running back, Thurman Thomas from Oklahoma State, the leading rookie rusher in the National Football League. And look at the speed as he gets to the outside here.
It went for 19 yards and another Bill first down.
Buffalo has been trying to run it up the middle. They've got the Patriots linebacker staying in there. This time they run the sweep. If they can get the block on the corner, and there they do. Richard gets one. Metzelar's the tight end gets one. And that's all that Thurman Thomas wants. Gets it to the outside, almost breaks it.
First down for Buffalo at the 28-yard line of the Patriots. Deepest penetration by Buffalo in the first quarter. Thomas tries the other side. Blockers in front. Can't turn the corner, though. Run out of bounds by Lawrence McGrew, the outside linebacker on that side.
The point we should bring up here, Lawrence McGrew, number 50 for the Patriots, is playing left outside linebacker. The other linebacker on the right side is Tim Jordan. They have flip-flopped. It used to be the other way around. Maybe McGrew is not used to playing over on the left side. Whatever it is, it looks as though Buffalo is trying to go at it. That's McGrew making the play. Well, all of a sudden, Buffalo is trying to run the sweeps.
Still picked up 6 yards at 2nd and 4 for Buffalo, moving the ball, trailing 7-0, just over 6 minutes left in the first quarter at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Thomas. He's got the first down. Close to the 10-yard line of the Patriots, where Jim Bowman makes the tackle. 11-yard gain for Thurman Thomas as Buffalo continues to move on the ground.
Starting to believe here in Buffalo. Rich Stadium, the 5th straight sellout. Players like that. Thurman Thomas is a rookie. A lot of number 1 draft choices on this team. Their fans, as well as the team, are starting to believe, hey, this is our year.
New England's defense has been 23rd in the NFL against the run, and Buffalo moving on the ground here with a first down at the New England 12. Thomas to the 9. Tim Goad, the nose tackle, got over to make the stop. Tim Goad, who earned a starting spot, stopping another rookie, Thurman Thomas.
Good old-fashioned Big Ten football here. Neither quarterback's going to throw it, huh?
Thomas has gone out, and Ronnie Harmon comes in with a 2nd and 6.
coach on the right there is Don Blackman. Was a terrific outside linebacker for the Patriots. Was forced to retire with a neck injury. They really miss him.
Kelly hands it to Harmon. Harmon has stopped at the 6-yard line and got about 3. It'll bring up a 3rd down situation for Buffalo. Vincent Brown, the rookie linebacker, stopped Harmon on that one.
That's the 3rd or 4th time you've mentioned Brown's name, Tom. Playing very well in there.
Out of Mississippi Valley State, a rookie, 2nd-round draft choice, getting his first NFL start today. Thomas comes back in, replacing Harmon. It's 3rd and 3 for the Buffalo Bills. Ball at the 5-yard line of New England. Thomas. He's got a first down to the 1-yard line of New England. Lawrence McGrew stopped him. They continue to run that pitch to the right side.
Been very successful running this pitch to the outside. Thomas has picked up a lot of yards. Watch the pulling lineman if you can see him, number 67. Right at the corner of your screen as he pulls around, does a nice job on Fred Marion, number 31, and that frees it up to the inside, and Dak almost got it into the end zone.
Thomas now has carried 7 times for 55 yards. 1st and goal for Buffalo at the 1-yard line of New England. The Bills looking to tie the game with 3:20 left in the first quarter. High formation in the backfield. Riddick is the tailback. He gets the handoff and scores. Riddick with his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Remember, a year ago, he led the NFL in scoring until he was injured in November. And that's his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
May have been his easiest one of the year, too. Nobody laid a hand on him as he went into the end zone. Excellent drive by Kelly and the Buffalo Bills, mostly on the ground.
Scott Norwood to add the extra point off the hold from John Kidd, the punter. And it splits the uprights, and the Bills have tied it up. 3 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter from Rich Stadium in Buffalo. And Riddick with a touchdown. Norwood with the extra point. We're tied at 7. This was an easy score for Buffalo. The Bills have tied the Patriots on an excellent scoring drive, a 9-play drive, all on the ground.
They really controlled that line of scrimmage. The Buffalo offensive line with some good sweeps, and I think maybe the Patriots missed Garen Veras on that drive. He went out with a sprained knee ligament, going to the hospital for x-rays. They certainly missed him on that drive, but a good controlled drive by that offensive line of the Buffalo Bills.
Garen Veras out for the remainder of the game and will be sorely missed by the New England defense. Sprained ligament in his right knee. Martin is deep for the Patriots as Norwood is set to kick it off. Another squib sort of kick from Norwood that'll bounce all the way through the end zone for the touchback. No return on that one. The Patriots and Doug Flutie will take over at their own 20-yard line. Let's go to Gail Gardner now at NFL Live for an update.
Thank you, Tom. Last week it was the Bengals committing all of the turnovers. This week it's the Oilers at Riverfront. Cincinnati taking advantage of a Moon interception. James Brooks goes in from 9 yards out, his 2nd touchdown of the quarter. Bengals lead 21-0. Let's go back to Buffalo.
And in Buffalo, Gale, the Bills have just tied it 7-7. They, like the Bengals, have lost only once this season. Dupart and Tutupu are in on first down for the Patriots. Flutie, play action pass and rolls out. Has a man wide open. It's complete to the tight end, Dawson. Dawson has a Patriot first down just short of the 40-yard line. Shane Conlon chased him down, but that one was wide open for 19 yards.
Play action fake is what makes this. We'll watch it again from the end zone. Buffalo has a blitz on it, frees up the tight end, Lynn Dawson. There's a Bentley number 50 blitzing. The good play action fake to Dupart. And now look at the outside. There's number 87 coming along right in front of you. Flutie can see him. Drops it right over the linebacker's head, Shane Conlon. Good looking play.
Pass was not a thing of beauty, but it got the job done.
His passes really never are, but they work somehow or other.
There's Dawson who made the reception and gives the Patriots a first down. Keep it on the ground to Reggie Dupard. Nothing there. Darryl Talley leads the defensive charge for the Bills.
Hey, Tom, everybody seems to be so worried about Smith and Bennett. They better watch number 56 there. That's about the third tackle that Talley has made. It looks as though the Patriots are trying to run away from him without blocking him. He's too fast for that.
Well, the offensive lineman wanted Coach Raymond Berry to stick with a game plan and stick with a run in a couple of games previously. What about here? The run has not been successful. How long will they stay with it?
That remains to be seen. I wonder too, Tom, because I don't think they can run against this Buffalo defense.
2nd and 11 after a loss on the last play. Flutie in trouble, gets away from one man and lets it go. It's a catch at the 40 of the Bills. Irving Fryer, flew or not, made a great reception there.
Tremendous job by Fryer to get open. And we were talking about how Flutie makes something out of nothing. So many times he'll do that. Holding call against the Patriots is going to nullify it.
Art Still was the man putting the pressure on Doug Flutie, and I believe somebody grabbed a hold of him. A holding call against the Patriots nullifies a long gainer. There's Art Still, former first-round draft choice.
Holding, number 68. 2nd down.
Mike Babb, the center, acquired by the Patriots from the Cleveland Browns earlier this year. Guilty of the hold.
Flutie really makes something out of nothing here. This is what the Bills are afraid of. His ability to get to the outside and throw, even though he's throwing the wrong way. Look at this catch by Fryer. Tremendous concentration to get it as he goes out of bounds. No question he was in, but it doesn't count. You can't hold unless you're going to get away with it.
2nd and 21 for New England, back at the 27-yard line. Flutie rolls again. That one hop Irving Fryer, and it'll be incomplete. It'll set up a 3rd and long for New England.
Cincinnati's coming back from last week. Sam Weiss had a few things to say to him, you suppose?
Look at Pittsburgh. All that criticism lighting a fire under the Steelers today.
Well, what's going on in Denver, though?
Here at 7-7 with 1:26 left in the first quarter. Talley and Bentley are out. 6 defensive backs in for the Bills on 3rd and 21. Flutie dumps it, incomplete. Reggie Dupard had a hand on it but couldn't hold it as Flutie, in desperation, let it go with Bruce Smith breathing hot and heavy down his neck.
That was a screen pass to the left. The Patriots have been criticized for not throwing a screen. That may have been the first one they've thrown all year.
They may not throw another.
This ball should have been caught, I think. It's not a very good pass, but I think Dupard could have had it. There's Sean Farrell, number 62, a one-man screen. Not a very good pass, but maybe should have been caught. There was room to run had he caught it.
Fiegels is on for his 2nd punt of the day. Tucker is deep for the Bills. High snap. Fiegels pulls it down and gets the kick away, but it's a short one. It'll bounce at about the 45. And it'll be down about there. So good field position again for the Buffalo Bills. Fiegels on the punt, and not a very good one as he pulled down a high snap. The punt covered only 28 yards. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League and intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Buffalo Bills and the National Football League is prohibited. The game is the property of the National Football League, the New England Patriots, and Buffalo Bills, all rights reserved. From the 45, Buffalo with a first down, tied with the Patriots 7-7. Kelly hands it to Thomas, and Thomas twists to the 49-yard line, a gain of a 4. Stopped by Johnny Rembert to the Patriots.
Pretty obvious what Buffalo's game plan is, isn't it, Tom? 9 plays for a touchdown in the first drive with no passes. There they go right at the middle of the Patriots defense, and that's always been the weak spot of New England's defense, right in the middle. The defensive line, the inside linebackers, although Rembert, number 52, having a terrific year.
Inside the final minute of the first quarter. Thomas into New England territory down to the 45-yard line, close to a first down. Edmund Nelson, who has replaced the injured Garen Barris, tackles Thomas, but he's close to first down yardage. A reminder that we will be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game. That'll come up at the conclusion of the contest. And one of the candidates right now would have to be number 34, Thurman Thomas, the rookie running back for the Buffalo Bills. Marv Levy told us yesterday that every time they've been able to run the ball at least 30 times, they have won the game. And their running game is going very well for the Buffalo Bills here. They have good field position. That's the end of the first quarter. We're tied at 7. Ready for the second quarter, Rich Stadium. Tom Hammond and John Morris. 7-7 game, New England and Buffalo. There are the first quarter stats.
If you look at the rushing there, both teams have run the ball 12 times. Thomas, 9 carries for 64 yards. He's been the story for Buffalo.
Patriots have a lead in time of possession, but the Bills have outgained them on the ground. Only 10 yards passing for Buffalo. They haven't had to pass.
I really think if it gets to be a contest between two running games, I think Buffalo's going to win that one. And it looks as though they're starting to wear him down a little bit now. Kelly is keeping it on the ground. He's faced with a 3rd and short as we start the second quarter. But with this guy and Buffalo's offensive line and the injuries the Patriots have had on defense, I don't think Buffalo can win that battle.
Thomas with a big first quarter, over 60 yards on the ground. On the sideline on 3rd and 1. That's Riddick, who hurdles for a first down. Rob Riddick into the short yardage situation, hurdles the line, and Jim Bowman, the strong safety, has to make the stop after he cleared that pileup with a good hurdle that would make Edmund Moses proud.
Does Riddick ever come in when it's 3 yards or 4 yards to go? Only just 1 yard, huh? Last time he came in with 1 yard to go, it was a touchdown, and they didn't lay a glove on him.
This is the age of specialization. First down, Bills at the 41-yard line. That was the first play of the second quarter. It's a 7-7 game. Thomas back in with Carl Byram. They're split backs behind Kelly. Fake to Thomas. Kelly looks up top. Complete to Trumaine Johnson at the 21-yard line of the New England Patriots. Raymond Claiborne stopping Johnson, who made a 20-yard reception. That's his 11th catch of the year.
Trumaine Johnson is getting his opportunity because of the injury to Chris Burkett. But it was the play-action fake that time that froze everybody. You don't see the play-action fake, but Trumaine Johnson will be open across the middle as Fred Marion, number 31, is just a little late getting there. Trumaine Johnson getting his chance to play due to the injury. Hopes to be able to take advantage of it.
There's Johnson, the former 2-time All-USFL player. Thomas on the pitch. New England gets over and recovers quickly, and the pursuit knocks Thomas out of bounds. Vincent Brown led the charge. Brown has proved to be very tough against the run in his first start.
Played very well. Second-round draft choice. Patriots thought he might be ready a little sooner than this, but he was struggling during preseason. Had a little trouble picking up the system, whatever that means. I've never quite understood what that means.
Especially on defense, just get out there and get the guy with the ball, right?
I don't think it's nuclear physics.
Vincent Brown was an All-American player at Mississippi Valley State, where he made 570 career tackles.
Pretty good hit right there, number 59.
2nd and 7 for Buffalo. Kelly swings it complete to Byram, who falls down and lost a couple of yards. Vincent Brown again right there to make sure Byram didn't get up. Look at the blood on Byram's uniform. 28-0 now, as Leo Barker had a 34-yard interception return for a touchdown for the Cincinnati Bengals. Vinny Testaverde has a touchdown pass, but Tampa Bay trails. Pittsburgh still 17-zip over the Broncos. Dallas laying it on the Eagles at Veterans Stadium. That's a surprise. No love lost between those two clubs.
Not at all. Big play right here, Tom, for Buffalo and for the Patriots on defense. 3rd and 10.
Kelly lines up in the shotgun. Cliff Johnson, Andre Reed, Trumaine Johnson, 3 receivers, and they give it on a handoff to Ronnie Harmon. And Harmon will be stopped short of the first down by Brent Williams, who is celebrating his 24th birthday today. So Scott Norwood will come onto the field for the field goal attempt.
Not much time to make a decision there. Marv Levy, the coach of the Bills, made that decision almost instantly. I'm going for the field goal. I'm not going to even try to make the first down. Probably a good call this early in the game when you look at those stats.
Has not missed from this range and is the leading scorer in the National Football League with 71 points on the season. Kidd is the holder. This will be a 30-yard attempt. Norwood nails it from 30, and the Buffalo Bills have their first lead in the game. 11:56 left in the second quarter. Buffalo 10, New England 7. Tom Hammond and John Morris at Rich Stadium. Jeff Himes, our producer. David Hoffman, our director. Jim Kelly has just directed the Bills to a go-ahead field goal. It's 10-7 Buffalo with 11:56 left in the half. A little windy, so Norwood gets a hold on the kickoff. And he has a better kickoff this time. His first two have been squibbers. This one to the 8. Martin slips, falls down, and then is plastered. That was Pike. Mark Pike.
What a hit by Kite. This is the advantage of having good special team plays, because you can see the effect it has on the entire team. Watch number 94 down here. First of all, Martin slips. Now, he probably should have just stayed there if he was smart, because here comes number 94, and you'll see him at the top of your screen there. See, here he comes.
Boom, he had dead aim on him, and Buffalo has been number 1 in the AFC on kick coverage, allowing 19 yards per kickoff return. There's Mark Pike, who made that hit. Stevens and Perryman in the backfield for the Patriots, who have the ball at their own 23. Flutie hands it to Stevens. Finds an opening up the middle and powers forward to the 40-yard line. John Stevens, the rookie from Northwest Louisiana, 17 yards before Mark Kelso makes a saving tackle.
He's the other rookie running back on the field today. Thurman Thomas has stolen all the thunder so far today, but Stevens, the number 1 draft choice for the Patriots this year. They think he's the future of the rushing game. The Patriots have not had a 100-yard rusher on their team since 1985, the Super Bowl year when Craig James did it. A 100-yard rusher in one game. It has not happened in that long.
You see, Stevens was close, over 80 in the first meeting with the Bills, and has 8 carries, 40 yards here in the first half. Flutie fakes it to him this time and lets it fly incomplete over the outstretched arms of Lynn Dawson.
Well, they tried to fool Buffalo that time, pulled both guards to the right, and Flutie with a bootleg away from that, and you can see it didn't work. Lynn Dawson was well covered downfield by Buffalo.
That Buffalo rush has not been fooled at all, not been held up at all by the play actions or the bootlegs so far today.
They stayed at home on this one, and it's a good one as we watch it again. You'll watch the linemen pull out, and yet everybody stays at home. Well, I guess we're not going to see it, but they played it very well on the bootleg.
Second down for New England, and Marv Levy said yesterday they thought they might try to take advantage of the speed of Bennett by going away from him on some counter motion. Stanley Morgan made a diving attempt at that pass from Doug Flutie. Eric Burrows was covering on the play. It'll be third down for New England.
We asked in the pregame which Patriot team was going to show up. That one, every time Flutie's gone back to throw, with the exception of the touchdown pass to Fryer, they've looked like the team that went to Green Bay. That time it was difficult to tell who Flutie was even throwing it to. 44 Stevens was the short receiver, the wide receiver downfield. There he is in the pocket. He's not a good... See Stevens right there? Was he throwing it to him or was he throwing it to Stanley Morgan?
Flutie is 2 of 7 so far, as the Patriots apparently now have abandoned that running game, down by 3. Flutie's pass deflected and incomplete. Well, Doug Flutie is sick of hearing about it, but that's what you get when you have a short quarterback.
Every time he gets one tipped, everybody says he's short. When the 6'5" quarterbacks get one tipped, they're not too short. I think it's Art Still that makes the play. Let's see what we see. There he is, the bottom of your screen, number 72. Generally, when a ball is tipped, the lineman does not get off the line of scrimmage. He's being blocked by Ron Wooten. Pretty good job by Wooten. Let's see what happens on the tip. He just gets a hand up.
Still is 6'7", with a long wingspan. He didn't even have to go up too far to get that one.
The quarterback was 6'5". That one would have been tipped.
Tucker is deep on fourth down for the Bills as Fiegels will punt it away. High snap. This is a better kick, his best of the day. Tucker fumbles it. Loose ball. The Bills already have lost 2 today, and New England has it. Third turnover against the Bills.
Is there going to be a controversy over this, Tom? Did he have an opportunity to catch that football? You have to give the receiver a chance to catch it.
Harold Tucker, Marv Levy's club, has turned it over for the 3rd time in the first half. Let's watch it.
You can see him take his eye off the ball.
Yeah.
Yep, right there. That's where he makes his mistake. Now, does it again. No wonder he dropped it. But see, number 39, Allen, yeah, he gave him enough room to catch it. That's definitely a fumble.
You know, he didn't watch the ball into his hands. He took his eyes away 3 times, really, including the moment of impact.
You know, if I was back there catching the ball, Tom, I'd be looking downfield, too. Those are big guys, but you can't do it. Got to keep your eye on the ball.
Third turnover against the Bills. Thomas Benson made the recovery that time for New England. There's Tucker, who muffed the punt, and New England has it in great shape with a first down. The ball just short of the Bills' 10-yard line. They could make a first down inside the 1. On the ground, Stevens. He's got room. Touchdown. John Stevens covers 10 or 11 yards. Officially 10, I suppose, although it was just short of the 10-yard line. And Marv Levy sees a turnover hurt him for the 2nd time today.
Good job inside by Mike Babb, the center. That's Sean Farrell, number 62, pulling up in there. Nobody lays a hand on him. Good running by Stevens up the middle, and the Patriots quickly take advantage of the turnover and get that touchdown right away. Good move.
John Stevens, the Patriots rookie running back. 2 excellent rookies on the field here today. Stevens of New England and Thomas of Buffalo. And now Garcia will try to hit the extra point. No good. Garcia misses the extra point. He now has hit 10 of 15 this year. And I bet you'll see some kickers into the camp for the Patriots this week. Did somebody get a hand on that one?
I think he might have blocked it, but he's missed a lot of extra points.
Still, the Patriots have taken the lead. New England has taken the lead 13-10 on Buffalo after the Bills' turnover. Turnovers have been the story of the game. 2 of them have cost Buffalo dearly here in the first half. And is that a sign of not being emotionally ready to play when you commit a lot of turnovers?
I was thinking the same thing. It looks as though Buffalo, and how can they be, is up as much as they were last week. The Patriots are taking advantage of it. Good play by both offensive lines, too. I think both of those are doing an extremely good job today. We haven't seen many passes so far.
Not at all. Well, Garcia missed the extra point, and his job would appear to be in jeopardy. And here's his kickoff. Taken by Ronnie Harmon, and Harmon is out of bounds, and the Buffalo offensive unit hits the field again. 10 minutes, 25 seconds left in the first half. And it's a 13-10 New England lead. Well, that Buffalo ground game has been grinding out the yards, and let's see if Marv Levy goes back to it now, trailing by 3. Here's that kick again by Garcia, and let's see if we can figure out what happened. He missed a chip shot field goal earlier. This one, the extra point.
I thought maybe somebody got a hand on it, but maybe not. Let's see if we can tell. I don't see anybody getting a hand on it. Just such a poor kick. It looked like it was blocked.
Buffalo with a first down. Kelly with a look-in pass complete for a Buffalo first down to Trumaine Johnson. Ronnie Lepet makes the stop. 13-yard gain. Now let's go to NFL Live, where Gail Gardner has another update.
All right, Tom, the problems continue for the Houston Oilers at Riverfront. Warren Moon back to pass. As his arm moves forward, Leo Barker deflects it and picks it off, then rumbles 34 yards for the score. Bengals now lead 28-0. Let's go back to Buffalo.
And at Rich Stadium, Gale, 13-10, New England leading. Isn't it funny how the balance of power can shift so quickly? The Bengals struggling a year ago, in great shape this year, as Thomas carries, stopped by Rembert. And the Buffalo Bills were pretty hapless a couple of years ago, and they're one of the up-and-coming teams. And maybe the Bills or the Bengals, it's a toss-up, the best team in the conference.
Could be. Watch number 52, Rembert here. We've been talking about him throughout as he gets through 2 Buffalo Bills. Neither one of them blocked him. Good move by Rembert to the inside to make the play.
2nd and 10. No gain on that play. Kelly just tripped up as he scrambled. Tim Goad managed to get a hand in there to trip up Kelly on the scramble. Jim Kelly is the 3rd leading rusher on this Buffalo team.
I'm impressed with the Patriots defense so far today, Tom. They've been banged up, a lot of injuries. Watch it again. Number 72 is the nose tackle. He's a rookie. Plays off the block. Good hustle to get over there because Kelly's dangerous. He can run the ball. But the Patriots defense is keeping them in this game so far today, and that's impressive considering the number of injuries they've had.
There are the numbers on Kelly's ground performance. 3rd best on this team. Ronnie Harmon and Rob Riddick in the backfield with Kelly on 3rd and 8. Flip Johnson, Trumaine Johnson, Andre Reed, 3 wide receivers. Kelly has time, pumps once. Now he's in trouble. He did all he could, but he's finally taken down at the 40 by Tim Goad.
He must have been watching Patriots film, thought he was Doug Flutie that time. Not quite as quick. And there's the result. He's on the ground.
But a little stronger. I tell you what, he's about as tough a quarterback as you'll find.
Oh, he is that. This is Benson, the linebacker on the outside. Now, pump fake downfield. Kelly has got nobody. Now what does he do? I think at this point he's got to try to decide and run it because nothing's happening downfield. A lot of work for no gain.
So for the first time today, John Kidd is on to punt for Buffalo as the Patriot defense led by Gold holds again. And Kelly wraps up on the sideline as the sun comes out. Kidd's punt is a good one. Irving Fryer at the 20. Trying to get outside. Makes a good cut. Nice return by Irving Fryer, who has stopped at the 38-yard line, driven out of bounds there by the punter, John Kidd. A little fight breaks out on the field out of camera range.
The crowd's really upset because they want a flag on Rod McSwain. They don't get it.
Fryer with a good return, and the New England Patriots will have it when we come back to Rich Stadium. New England up 13-10 on Buffalo as the Patriots kicker, Teddy Garcia, tries to iron out the kinks in his swing over on the sideline. He's been struggling. Flutie. Incomplete. Intended for John Stevens, who's been running the ball, that time out on the pass pattern. Covered well by Bentley and Radisek.
Give the credit to Bruce Smith on that one, number 78, the defensive right end. We've talked about him so much, but that time Flutie on the bootleg to the left did not fool Smith at all. He went out there, not only went out there, but he took Trevor Maddich to tackle with him and forced Flutie to throw it a little too soon.
Bruce Smith out of Virginia Tech, the first player taken in the 1985 draft, missed 4 games this season for a substance abuse suspension, but still is the number 2 sack performer on this club, and of course was the Pro Bowl MVP a year ago. There are the numbers on Flutie. This one incomplete, and again, good coverage for the Bills. Derek Burrows came right over the top to knock it away, intended for Fryer.
The key to pass protection, and we'll be able to see it here, is if Mike Babb can handle Fred Smerlas alone. If he can do that, then Sean Farrell, the guard, can go out and double-team Bruce Smith. That's what happens this time. Sean Farrell, the left guard, takes a look to the outside. Babb's having a hard time with Smerlas. You can see he's the one that gets knocked back into Flutie. And that causes the problem with the pass. But if Babb can handle it, and they didn't that time, then the Patriots can double-team Bruce Smith.
What kind of feeling is it for an offensive lineman to have been beaten repeatedly and know you still have over a half to play?
You can't hide any place.
3rd and 10 for New England. Buffalo might have been offside. Flag is down. Flutie scrambles. He's got some room. He's hammered just short of the 45-yard line, but I believe Buffalo is offside. Leonard Smith, number 46 in blue, known for his hard hits, put the clamps on Flutie that time, but Art Still may have been offside.
Leonard Smith will hammer you. What a catch he was. Buffalo got him from the Phoenix Cardinals. I think he's one of the better strong safeties in the league, and you saw that hit on Flutie as we wait to hear the call. You know, you've been talking, Tom, about Kelly's toughness, and it's true, but Flutie, for a little guy, is pretty tough down there, too. He runs a lot, takes some pretty good hits down there, but always bounces up.
Offside. Defense still 3rd down.
Still 3rd down, and Still, I believe, was guilty of the infraction.
Of course, when he gets to be with a little more veteran experience, he'll realize on a free play like that, you don't want to run it and go downfield and take that hit.
And let it fly instead. Minnesota turning it on Tampa Bay. And Pittsburgh continues to play well against the Broncos. 3rd and 5 here for New England. Flutie. Incomplete. Almost caught by Russ Francis, the veteran tight end, but the ball sort of hung up and gave Shane Conlon time to get there on the defense for Buffalo. Flutie, though, did a good job just to get rid of it.
The ball hung up because Flutie just couldn't put anything on it. He was probably out of gas by the time he got around to throwing it. Francis had a shot at it. Shane Conlon made a nice play. But Bruce Smith again put the pressure on. This time the Patriots tried to double team him with a running back, and that one didn't work either. They're trying everything. Trevor Maddich is the left tackle there. And watch number 21. See, he's the running back, two-part helping out. Smith is still in hot pursuit. Now Flutie's no way he can get anything on the ball here. He's running for his life.
4th down for New England, and Fiegels will punt. Averaging 39 a kick on 3 so far. Tucker deep for the Bills. Tucker fumbled the last one, remember, led to a New England touchdown. Gathers this one in safely. Eludes a couple of tacklers and is taken down at the 21-yard line. So Tucker had to be thinking about the last one, but he handles it successfully. And Danny Villa, who lost his starting spot because he was injured to Maddich, was down on special teams coverage to make the tackle for New England after a 39-yard Fiegels punt. Jim Kelly is certainly a thoroughbred among quarterbacks. And speaking of thoroughbreds, next Saturday, it'll be my pleasure to be at Fair Hill, Maryland for one of the most beautiful events in the world of sports, the Breeders' Cup Steeplechase. It's the richest steeplechase in the world, a purse of $250,000, and we'll have the hunting clothes on.
Patches on your elbow?
A week ago yesterday, coming up next Saturday on NBC Sports World. Trumaine Johnson makes the catch from Kelly, and the Bills have a first down. Fred Marion tackling Johnson, but Johnson's having a big afternoon.
Taking advantage of the opportunity. 2 great years in the USFL, Trumaine Johnson, but then he went to San Diego for 2 years and didn't do much of anything there. Came over here in a trade a couple of years ago, hasn't had an opportunity to play. Today's his first real shot. That's his second catch. Nice job to hang on to that one, too.
He went for 17 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Tom, you've been talking about Buffalo being flat, and I think you're absolutely right. They need to pick it up a little bit. Pick it up a couple of notches and play like they did Monday night. Difficult thing to do, but I think they are flat.
3 turnovers against the Bills in the first half. 2 of them led to New England scores. Thomas on a reverse hands it off. Here's Reed. Reed's got blockers in front to the 40. Cuts back and finally is down at the 25-yard line. Ronnie Lepet made the trip-up tackle that saved the touchdown, but Reed on the reverse goes for 36 yards.
Reed, the man of the hour on Monday night. There he is lined up at wide receiver. Buffalo pulls the lineman to the right, and the Patriots bite. This is the first time today that Reed has touched the football. Maybe he's worn out from that first half Monday night. Doesn't look like it with the speed there, almost all the way. Ronnie Lepet makes a saving tackle right there by tripping him up. But not bad if you're only going to touch the ball once. Not a bad performance.
First down for Buffalo at the 25 of New England. 5:17 left in the half. New England leads by 3. Thomas. Thurman Thomas with blockers. Stopped just short of the 20-yard line by Vincent Brown.
Big play like that will pick a team up. The reverse to Andre Reed. The crowd gets back into the game. Maybe the Buffalo Bills can pick it up a notch here.
Reed's 36-yard run on that reverse was the longest run by a Buffalo player this year. There's Andre Reed. Reed, the leading receiver in the AFC and tied for number 1 in the NFL with Jackson of Philadelphia and Craig of San Francisco with 42 receptions. That time kept it on the ground to put Buffalo in good position. Thomas, stiff-armed one man, tight ropes down the sideline and out of bounds. At about the 17-yard line of the Patriots, Jim Bowman made sure he went out, number 28.
Bowman's in there playing because of an injury to Roland James, who normally would be in there at strong safety. Patriots say it was a toss-up this year, though. Jim Bowman been here a couple of years. It's his 4th year. They said he almost won the starting job this year outright. Well, he's got it right now because Roland James was injured against Cincinnati.
3rd and 2 coming up for the Bills. Harmon and Riddick in the backfield. Kelly out of the shotgun. Ball ruled incomplete. It was intended for Flip Johnson, who collided with Raymond Claiborne. And the fans want the interference call, but rightly so, no flag.
You think so, rightly, Tom? I don't know. I don't see how they can't throw a flag on this one. Claiborne hit him well before the ball got there. You can see how the crowd feels about it. Let's let our viewers make the decision. You can't see the contact. It came right as he came into the screen.
I thought that Flip Johnson was just as guilty of the contact as was Claiborne. I thought it was just a collision between the two.
Well, the officials agree with you, and that's the one that counts.
In any event, Norwood will try a 35-yard field goal. Low kick, but it gets the job done. Scott Norwood hits from 35 yards. Flip Johnson wanted the interference call, but the Bills have to settle for the field goal, and they tied the game against the New England Patriots with 4:53 left in the first half. Norwood's field goal makes it 13-13.
He's a machine, Scott Norwood. He's only missed 3 field goals this season. And he kicked the field goal to beat the Patriots the last time.
Game with only 11 seconds left to give the Bills a 16-14 win. Coming up at halftime, stay with us for NFL Live. Bob Costas, Ahmad Rashad, Gail Gardner, and company. Paul McGuire and Frank DeFord bring you up to date on all the happenings as we come to the halfway point of this NFL season. Well, Doug Flutie celebrating his 26th birthday today, and it's been a mixed bag for Flutie and the Patriots. They have been able to capitalize on the turnovers by the Bills as Flutie keeps his arm warm on the sideline.
Something about Flutie, though. When he throws the ball in the pocket, he seems to have problems. Doesn't seem to be able to complete it as well. Can't seem to find his receivers. It's when he's outside running and making things happen on the run is when he's most effective. Patriots don't seem to take advantage of that now that he's the starting quarterback. If you're going to decide that he's your starting quarterback, then I think they ought to design some plays to take advantage of what he can do. They don't seem to have any design rollouts as we look at Thurman Thomas there. Talking about Flutie, but the story is on the ground.
Yeah, Thomas is personally out rushing the Patriots. Flutie, meanwhile, has hit only 2 of 11 in the passing department, though he does have a touchdown toss. Well, Norwood has had trouble kicking off today, and the last 2 times, counting this one, he's gotten a hold from Sherman Cocroft. Kick is short. Bounces. Finally is picked up by Martin. And he is down at the 15-yard line. He'd have done better to have gotten away from it, although it was a free ball, and Buffalo could have recovered it. Dwight Drain made the tackle for the Buffalo Bills, and perhaps Martin should have just dived on the ball. So Flutie and his offense backed up with 4:45 left in the first half of a 13-13 game. The ball just short of the 17-yard line of the Patriots.
Flutie really needs to get a drive going for his team right now with 4:45 left to go. Poor field position. They can't pick up a couple of first downs. It gives Buffalo another opportunity. Let's see what the game plan is on this drive. Steve Grogan over there on the sideline. You may have seen him. He's calling the plays.
Leon Seals and Jeff Wright up front for the Bills with Bruce Smith on this series. Yards to the 20 where Jeff Wright, the rookie from Central Missouri, makes the hit. Bengals continue to air it out against the Oilers, and the Raiders have taken the lead at the Superdome. Atlanta leading New York 10-3. That's a surprise, as is the Steelers' big lead over the Broncos.
An injured Patriot player on the field, and I think it is Sean Farrell, starting left guard. With the injury to Danny Villa, they've already lost one offensive lineman. It doesn't look like it's serious with Farrell, but we'll wait and see.
13-13 game, and if Farrell goes out, he'll likely be replaced as Raymond Berry will send in Paul Fairchild, 6'4", 270 pounds.
Those are the 2 tall quarterbacks that the Patriots have right there. The tall quarterbacks have their jackets on. The short guys playing.
Grogan and Eason. 4:33 left in the half. It'll be 2nd and 7 coming up for New England. There are Grogan and Eason, along with Raymond Berry. Second and 7 call for the New England Patriots. Perryman in motion. Stevens on the handoff. Twists and turns to the 25-yard line. Is going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. Leon Seals and Ray Bentley stopping John Stevens. Stevens scored his first NFL touchdown a week ago against Cincinnati as he recovered a Perryman fumble in the end zone for New England. He's had a good game rushing so far in the first half. First-round pick out of Northwest Louisiana.
John Stevens is playing pretty well. We're going to watch the nose tackle in the center this time. They've been running right behind Mike Babb up the middle.
3rd and 2 for New England. Stevens, he's got the first down across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Bentley and Smith got him down, but he had a first down.
Stevens takes advantage of some good blocking up front. The nose tackle thinks he's going to get blocked by the center. Instead, they influence him. Babb moves away, and he gets trapped from the side. Watch this now. Mike Babb, the center, and Jeff Wright, the nose tackle, but it's the guard, Ron Wooten, who comes down there and cuts the nose tackle. And there's plenty of room there for Stevens to run. Why would anybody want to play nose tackle when they do that to you?
11 carries, 63 yards for John Stevens out of northwestern state of Louisiana. Stevens again. And again, he's hard to bring down. He's across the 40-yard line, about 2 yards short of the first down. Leonard Smith made the tackle for Buffalo.
Battle of the rookie running backs. In the first quarter, it was all Thurman Thomas for Buffalo. In the second quarter, it's John Stevens. Once again here, picks up some good yardage as the Patriots pull a lineman around the front there. But it's Stevens that makes the play upside, and a power runner here. You know, he's bigger than Thomas. Stevens goes about 220 pounds, but they both have the same amount of speed. Stevens is more of a threat because of that power, I think.
Smurless and Still back in for the Bills to try to shore up that rush defense as we approach the 2-minute warning. This is Perryman, and Perryman has a New England first down close to the 45-yard line. Darryl Talley, Bruce Smith making the stop, but not before New England kept its drive alive with another first down run. And with the score 13-13, we have reached the 2-minute warning from Rich Stadium in Buffalo. 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not completed your life...
Every corner of Rich Stadium full today. 80,000 fans on hand, treated to a tie game so far as the Patriots continue to rush the ball successfully, something they did in their win a week ago against Cincinnati. 158 yards, a season high against the Bengals, and 88 in the first half today.
That surprises me. I really didn't think the Patriots would be able to run it against the Bills, but they sure are doing it so far.
They have a first down at their own 44. On the sweep, Dupard. For a loss of the play by Cornelius Bennett.
Good job over there by Bennett. I don't know if we'll get a chance to see it, but Buffalo's doing a smart thing. The Patriots ran a sweep to the right, and Bruce Smith, the end on the other side, plays Flutie. He's playing Flutie for the rollout. As they run the sweep, watch Flutie, if you can see it at the top of your screen. So he starts to run the rollout. Bruce Smith, number 78, stayed right there with him. Patriots will see they can't get that play. Meanwhile, they're trying to run the sweep, and they're not getting that either.
Nothing but blue shirts out there all over Dupard. A loss of 2. It's 2nd and 12 for New England. A minute 55 left in the half. Flutie under pressure, got away. Got the pass out and then was decked, and a flag down. It's going to be a penalty against the Bills. He was decked by Art Still, who blasted Flutie, and the flag went down.
No question about that call.
Well, we did talk about how tough Jim Kelly was, and you mentioned don't underestimate the toughness of Doug Flutie. I think it'll be illustrated here.
Well, not very good pass protection as Fred Smurless, and I think that's Bennett to get in there at the same time. Now, this is what Flutie is so dangerous. The crowd's cheering, but they ought to be a little bit worried. Watch Art Still come over and take a shot. I think they're going to call him not for hitting him out of bounds, but for spearing.
Art Still, the veteran out of the University of Kentucky in his 11th NFL season.
That's a close call, Tom. When I seen it on the replay, Flutie was still in bounds. But it's a big play because there's a minute 46 seconds left to go in the first half. The Patriots have it in field goal range, or I'm not in field goal range, but in Buffalo territory. Unfortunately for the Patriots, they never have it in field goal range.
What is field goal range? The way Garcia is kicking. His mixed extra point kept the Patriots from having a lead right now. He also missed a 25-yard field goal in the first quarter. 1:46 left in the first half here. Patriots trying to get something on the board before intermission. It's a tie game, 13 apiece. It off to Dupard. Dupard with blockers in front, out of bounds, short of the 35-yard line of the Bills. Ray Bentley got him out of bounds. But the Patriots went on the sweep to Dupard. He got a couple of blocks in front, and he gained about 5 yards.
Kind of the forgotten man for the Patriots. Dupard, a former #1 draft choice 3 years ago. Hasn't played much. Got in against Cincinnati, picked up 32 yards and 5 carries. And he's starting to become an important part of this offense.
He's the #3 rusher for the Patriots and their #2 receiver, surprisingly enough, out of SMU. Give him 7 yards and make it 2nd and 3 for the Patriots. Stay with us at halftime for NFL Live. Bob Costas and company from New York. Marv Levy trying to hold off the Patriots in the closing stages of the first half. Dupard again, maybe the same play. He's got enough for a first down, I believe. It'll be close. Art Still stopped Dupard. And New England takes a timeout to stop the clock with a minute 32 left in the first half. Art Still, Walt Corey, the defensive coordinator of the Bills, said Still is the best end against the run he has ever seen.
No, he still is, I think. He was in his prime when he was Kansas City, one of the best defensive ends in the league. But he's found a home here in Buffalo and has played pretty well. It's not getting any better, Cincinnati and Houston, is it?
Oilers on the board. That's about it. Halftime at Three Rivers. Here at Rich Stadium, with a minute 32 remaining in the first half, a 13-13 tie, and New England on the move. Garcia may be the man on the hot seat. They may ask him to come on for a field goal attempt in the closing seconds of the half, and it's got to be in his head now.
Oh, it's a mental thing with Garcia, no question about it. You can almost see the way he swings his leg that it's a mental thing. It's also a problem now for the Patriots coaches on the sideline, because as they're selecting plays here with a minute 32 left to go, they've got to be thinking touchdown because they've had so much problems with their field goal kicker. They got to figure a way to get it in the end zone. Flutie has not thrown the ball yet on this drive. I think he's got to start thinking about that now.
Sean Farrell, the starting left guard, is having his leg x-rayed. He's been replaced by Paul Fairchild in the Patriots offensive line. Dupard stumbles forward to the 30 where Ray Bentley covers him. There's a flag down. Why have they taken Stevens out of the game when he was doing such a good job and gone with Dupard?
Yeah, I don't understand that. Unless they think maybe he's a breakaway runner.
Holding call against the Patriots, and this will be costly to the drive.
Holding, number 68.
Mike Babb, the center, for the second time today, called for a hold.
That's a costly one, too. They really didn't need that at this point. Mike Babb came over from Cleveland, beat out Trevor Maddich. I was really surprised that Babb was available. I can't believe that Browns let him get away. I played center for a long time, and I've admired the way Babb can play. Patriots got a find in him.
In fact, I think when the Cleveland veterans found out that he had been traded, they went on a little mini strike.
See if we can see the hold again. It's a double team. Well, I don't see any holding there. Of course, I'm a center. I never see any holding.
1st and 20 now for New England. The ball backed up to the 42-yard line of the Bills, and Flutie apparently will now have to pass the football. Nope, a draw play to Stevens. Inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Darryl Talley tripped him up there.
Don't understand that call, and they're not using a timeout either. They've got 2 left, the Patriots. Now he's going to use it.
Well, they still haven't stopped.
No, Flutie was signaling over the sideline, should I take the timeout? And they said no.
They have 2 timeouts left, do the Patriots, as we're inside the final minute. 2nd and 17. Flutie going long. Incomplete. Juggling the ball as he went out of bounds was Irving Fryer, and the pass is ruled incomplete. Leonard Smith was covering Fryer, who already has 1 touchdown catch today.
This is a pretty good pass by Flutie. Fryer, number 80, is in the slot. He's covered single coverage by Leonard Smith, the strong safety. Fryer has won this battle. He is open for the catch. Now let's see if he can hang on to it. Tries to make a one-handed catch going out of bounds. Good call by the official.
It'll bring up 3rd and 17 for New England. First-round choice Fryer out of Nebraska.
One of the best athletes on the team, but I think he's been a little bit disappointing in his career. He just hasn't made the big plays that so many have been expected to him over a period of time.
44 ticks of the clock left. It's 3rd and 17. Flutie has protection, completes it to Dupart at the 35, short of the first down. Burrows and Davis made sure that Dupart didn't have enough yardage to keep the drive going. He was well short, about 12 yards short.
From the end zone, we'll look at it again as Flutie goes back to pass. Not even thinking about the first down. Dupart curls it up there, but that's well short. He didn't even look downfield.
And so Garcia on 4th down apparently will come onto the field. It'll be about a 52-yard effort by Teddy Garcia. They'll stop the clock just in the final seconds to make sure Buffalo won't have a chance to come back before halftime.
Garcia's longest field goal of his career is 50 yards, and in a way, this takes a little of the pressure off of him. You know, he's having a little problem with the mental part of his kicking right now. Missing short field goals, missing extra points. Not much is expected of him on a 52-yard field goal. Maybe he can just relax and swing the leg the right way.
They think that Garcia does have the leg to kick them that far. In college, he had 7 field goals, 50 yards or more, setting many school records at Northeastern State of Louisiana. Came to college as a soccer player. He's missed a 25-yard field goal and an extra point here in the first half. Those scores could have given the Patriots a 4-point lead. Try to give them the lead anyway before the first half comes to an end. 5 seconds left. Fiegels is the holder. It'll be 52 yards. And it's no good. Garcia had leg in it, but it was just a little off in the accuracy department. And a little consolation there for Teddy Garcia as he leaves the field. Stevens came over to say good effort, and the Patriots and the Bills will go to the locker room tied at 13 apiece. The Bills turned it over 3 times in the first half. The Patriots turned a couple of those turnovers into scores, and we're deadlocked at 13 as the first half has come to an end. Tie game at halftime. Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Tom Hammond and John Morris. And John, a game featuring powerful running attacks by each team in the first half.
Should be no surprise to the Buffalo defense that New England was going to run the ball. I am a little bit surprised that Kelly hasn't thrown the ball more. They better look out in the second half, Buffalo better, because when the Patriots run the ball successfully, they win.
The difference in the game, perhaps the turnovers by Buffalo. 2 of them led to New England scores in the first half. We're tied at 13. NFL Live halftime activities will continue in a moment. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Hi, everybody. Bob Costas along with Paul McGuire and Ahmad Rashad. I'll tell you, this show is the kiss of death. I'd forgotten that while I was away. First of all, Paul picks Houston. Gail interviews Warren Moon. They're getting clobbered. Paul makes fun of the Steelers, reads an uncomplimentary letter he got from a lady in Pittsburgh. They're jumping all over Denver. You figure it out. Cincinnati leads Houston 28-7 at Riverfront. Highlights, and they all belong to Cincinnati. The AFC's #1 rated passer, Boomer Esiason, talking it over with his coach, Sam Weiss. They're on their way, apparently, to going 7-1 after a loss last week against New England. They keep it on the ground here. James Brooks, one of his 2 touchdown runs in the first quarter. They led 28-0 at the end of the first period. Turnovers by Houston contributed to the Bengal cause. 2 interceptions and a fumble. Here's one of the pickoffs for Warren Moon. Almost a reverse Statue of Liberty play. The ball pops into the hands of Leo Barker, and 34 yards later, he's in the end zone. Eventually, Mike Rozier did score on a 5-yard run in the second period for the Oilers, but they're 3 touchdowns down. Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you, a week ago, Cincinnati knew what it was like, because against New England, what were there, 5 interceptions and a fumble by the Boomer. And here they are now doing everything to Moon. And Moon is just not getting the blocking that he got a week ago. But Cincinnati, you talk about turnovers and making things happen for you. This is a classic example of the game. But it's not over with yet.
On the other hand, you did pick the Raiders at New Orleans, where they were a 5-point underdog, and the Raiders lead 6-3 at halftime at the Superdome. Although they're paying an injury cost, Charlie Hanna, the veteran lineman, goes off with a broken right ankle. Very doubtful that he'll play again this year. Now here's Bo Jackson in the first quarter on a nice 20-yard run. He carried the ball twice, once for 20, another time for 25, combined 45 yards, then went out with tightness in a hamstring. It's possible he will play in the second half. There they are working on him, but we don't know for sure yet. Jay Schrader did not enjoy a good first half. 2 of 13 passing for the Raiders, but one of the 2 was this 84-yard beauty to Mervin Fernandez. Watch the nice catch with the defender all over him. Then he shakes that guy, steps inside another 84-yard catch and run. They missed the extra point. The Raiders at 3-4 lead the 6-1 Saints 6-3. Ahmad?
Well, 6-3 is not really a big deficit for the New Orleans Saints. They've come from behind a lot this year. But, you know, it's so strange that for the last year or so, everybody said that the Raiders were 1 player away. They thought it was Jay Schrader. Obviously, it's not. And then maybe it's Bo Jackson. But Bo Jackson is hurt now. If he doesn't come back to play the second half, and they got to go with Schrader, they're in trouble. I think we may see Burline.
Schrader's a good quarterback, though, isn't he? Or was it an illusion in Washington?
I think he's a pretty good quarterback, but it takes time to learn that system. You bring a guy in, you just throw him into a new coach, a new system, a new team. It's going to take him a while to get together.
Well, the Giants are having a hard time in Atlanta. Phil Simms has been intercepted twice, and here are the 1-6 Falcons leading the 4-3 Giants 10-3. They have just started the third quarter there. The Vikings, Ahmad's favorites, in front of Tampa Bay 28-10. Wade Wilson throws for 3 touchdowns. Vinny Testaverde has 1 scoring strike for the Bucs, but he's also been intercepted 4 times, bringing his season's total to 20, easily the highest in the National Football League. New England and Buffalo. At Buffalo, deadlocked at 13 at halftime. New England lost at home to the Bills earlier this year. Tony Eason, still bothered by the thumb injury, is back and technically active, but it's Doug Flutie who gets the start for the Patriots under some pressure. The little guy throws for Irving Fryer, 12-yard hookup, first quarter touchdown, 7-0 New England. Despite their 6-1 record, Buffalo has been plagued by turnovers this year, and they committed 3 in the first half. 1 was a fumbled punt, and immediately thereafter, John Stevens up the middle for 11 yards and a New England score. They're tied at 13 at halftime. Figure this one out, will you? Pittsburgh 27 and Denver nothing. They're early in the third quarter at Three Rivers Stadium. Pittsburgh has lost 6 in a row. Now, of course, Denver is without John Elway. He'll probably play a week from tomorrow at Indianapolis, but today the bad ankle and the bad knee prevent him from suiting up, and they go with Gary Kubiak. Meanwhile, just the second carry of the year for Rodney Carter of the Steelers. He goes 64 yards with it in the first quarter for a 7-0 Pittsburgh lead. Kubiak was effective in relief of Elway last week against the Falcons, but not today. Out of the shotgun and from his own end zone, Brian Hinkle with the interception. That leads to a Todd Blackledge touchdown run of a yard a little bit after that. Blackledge also threw 10 yards to Rodney Carter for Carter's second touchdown of the half. 27-0 as they play now in the third quarter. Dallas and Philadelphia, and the Cowboys have the lead in this one over the Eagles, 20-7. The Eagles have not scored a point in the first quarter in their last 6 games. In that stretch, they've been outscored by the opposition 63-0, and Dallas jumped on them 17-zip after 1 today. It's 20-7 now at the half. And Detroit goes to the third quarter in Kansas City. The Chiefs have just gotten another Nick Lowry field goal to move to within 1. The score there is 7-6. All right, let's turn back to Paul McGuire. On the pregame show, you had this little jest from the lady in Pittsburgh. Well, she's not making fun of her heroes now.
Well, I opened my mail, and obviously Pittsburgh opens theirs. So
always a mistake for you to open your mail.
It's a mistake for me, but I think they sent it off she sent it off to Pittsburgh and put it in the locker room. Will the lady who left her 11 kids at Three Rivers Stadium please pick them up? They're beating the Steelers 21-0 in the third quarter. This was last week. Different story this week.
And not so funny now with the Steelers on the rebound.
They are looking great, but Denver, again, without Elway, and everybody seems to be running the ball against the Denver Broncos. Pittsburgh's not having any problem at all.
All right, time for us to take off here. We'll continue with the halftime portion of the show following these messages from your local station.
Before 80,000 at Rich Stadium, the Patriots and the Bills playing to a standoff through the first half. And we said at the start of the telecast that Buffalo probably would have a tough time recovering emotionally from their big win over the Jets Monday night. And is that the case?
Looks like it has. Turnovers, 3 of them, have been the story of this game. The Patriots took advantage of them. Buffalo does look a little flat. On the other side, Tom, I think the Patriots have played extremely well on the road. They have really struggled. Lost 3 big games on the road, playing pretty well this first half of this one.
Those turnovers have been big in the first half. Here was one of them that led to a New England score. In fact, it enabled New England to go into the locker room tied at halftime. Errol Tucker muffs the punt, took his eye off it.
A couple of times he takes his eye off of it. Never did see it coming. That's Marvin Allen, number 39, who will make the recovery. There's a big pileup down here. Allen will finally come up with the ball, and this was one of 3 turnovers in the first half. The Patriots quickly took advantage of this one.
In fact, John Stevens would carry it in for New England for the touchdown. Here's this run. He goes almost untouched.
11 yards, good blocking by the Patriots up front, and this was the touchdown that gave them the lead, 13-10. A lot of people were surprised about that. The Patriots have played well, but I think you're right, Tom. Buffalo has been a little bit flat.
Norwood with a field goal for Buffalo to make it 13-13 at halftime.
I think the other thing we want to take into consideration is the fact that Buffalo has been a second-half team throughout most of the season. Monday night was the exception, but we've still got some football left.
And New England has struggled on the road. Throughout the year, but had their best half away from home in this first half, and perhaps they can build on that.
Played pretty well. They're running the ball well. And when the Patriots run the ball well, they generally win. They don't give Flutie a chance to make too many mistakes, and he hasn't today. He hasn't been the story. The running game's been the story as we look at it right there. The Patriots, 100 yards rushing in the first half. That's unusual for them.
Ready for the kickoff, sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. And is taken by Tucker of the Bills, who brings it across the 20 to the 22-yard line, where Buffalo will have the ball as a fight breaks out. Let's roll right in the middle of it for Buffalo. And Jim Kelly with some final words before he heads out onto the field. Take a look at those halftime stats, John. What can you pull out of those?
Kelly's only thrown for 51 yards. He's had 300 yards the last couple of games.
Right. 129 yards rushing, though, for the Bills, and 100 for the Patriots. The running game, the dominant factor in the first half for these two teams. Tied at 13. Kelly has hit on 5 of only 7 attempts.
That's the story. They just haven't been trying. Kelly certainly can do it if they want to.
Jim Kelly against Indianapolis and then against the Jets, passing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in each case. But his arm not yet needed by the Bills in this one. Thurman Thomas takes it to the 16-yard line, where he's pounced on by Lawrence McGrew and Vincent Brown.
I really don't understand that stat. Kelly's only thrown the ball 7 times. Here you've got Andre Reed. As we look at Kelly, Reed, leading receiver, at least tied for the lead in the National Football League, and he's only touched the ball once, and that was on a reverse. They haven't thrown it to him yet today, number 83.
Marv Levy told us yesterday that they always won the game if they rushed for 30 yards or more, and he said it was the number of rushes, not so much the yards, that opened up things for your offense, made your passing game work better. Thurman Thomas didn't get much there, and Vincent Brown, once again, the rookie out of Mississippi Valley State, the second-round draft choice, who made 6 tackles, filling in for the injured Ed Reynolds against Cincinnati, coming back this week with another big effort in his first start. The former All-American and Defensive Player of the Year in the Southwest Athletic Conference out of Mississippi Valley State. Ronnie Harmon, Rob Riddick in for the Buffalo Bills, joined by Flip Johnson, Trumaine Johnson, and Andre Reed on 3rd and 7. Double wide receivers to either side. Riddick is the only setback with Kelly in the shotgun. Pressure on Kelly, got away. He's got running room. Slides down at the 25. He picked up a Bill first down. Fred Marion and Jim Kelly, the former teammates at Miami, had a few words.
Not sure they were talking about when the next reunion is down in Miami.
Kelly, with a page out of Flutie's book, scrambles for a first down.
Except Kelly gave it a hook slide. Well, he didn't think that Marion should have been on top of him at third base there on that hook slide. Marion, I think you mentioned this, has got 4 career interceptions against his old college. There it is right there. His old college teammate and Jim Kelly.
First down for Buffalo. Fake to play action. Plenty of time. Kelly lobs it over the middle, complete. Short gain on the play to Thurman Thomas. And Andre Tippett, the Pro Bowl linebacker for the Patriots, makes the stop.
Patriots fans are glad to see Tippett in there. They need him rushing the passer, though. Patriots didn't get a lot of pressure on Kelly this time, and he's got too much time to throw. Just a straight three-man rush, and you can see what happens. The play action slows everybody down. Tippett will eventually make the tackle here. It's good for the Patriots that he's in there on first and second down rather than on just third down, as they said, but they need him to rush the passer.
Tippett stays in the last 4 years in a row in the Pro Bowl. 2nd and 8. Pitch to Thomas. Patriots managed to stack it up and stop him at the 30-yard line. A lot of white shirts over there in a hurry. Leading the charge again, Vincent Brown, number 59 of the Patriots. Fred Marion came along to help. I'm impressed with Vincent Brown's play today.
Playing very well. He's filling in for the injured Ed Reynolds, and he's been all over the field making a lot of tackles. Again, the Patriots stringing out. No place to go. Brown makes the hit.
Third down coming up for Buffalo. 3rd and 5. Harmon and Riddick, along with the 3 wide receivers, Johnson, Johnson, and Reed. The same formation we've seen on passing downs for Buffalo. Kelly pumps once. Now he's scrambling. Spots Riddick wide open and overshot him. Kelly knows he missed it.
Right away, he points at Riddick and says, "My fault." He knows he missed it, and he had the first down, too. Kelly generally, when he scrambles, will run. He doesn't throw the ball real well once he's scrambled. I think at this point he's a little undecided. He's going to run the ball for the first down. All of a sudden, he sees Riddick wide open over there. You can see it tuck the ball away as if he was going to run it. Pulled it back. Watch it again here. Sees, well, pulls it back and throws it too high. No way Riddick's going to make that play.
So John Kidd is on to punt for Buffalo. Irving Fryer is deep for the Patriots. Kidd's punt is another good one. Fryer at the 27. Nowhere to go. Spun down. That was Steve Tasker downfield in a hurry. Tasker made the Pro Bowl as a special teams performer last year and voted the top special team player in the AFC. He stopped Fryer dead in his tracks on that one. Watch Tasker at work again. Heel collar Fryer here. We're tied at 13 when we come back. Tom Hammond and John Morris at Rich Stadium. Patriots with their first possession of the second half. We're tied at 13. Doug Flutie hands it to John Stevens, and Stevens totes it forward to the 24-yard line where Ray Bentley stops him. John Stevens with yeoman work on the ground for the New England Patriots today.
Some help inside from Fred Smerlas. What a career this man's had. Fred Smerlas, the nose tackle, number 76, 4 Pro Bowls. He's working on Mike Babb there, and you can see he's controlled this block. You can't run up the middle unless you can move the nose tackle, and Smerlas is one of the toughest ones in the league to move.
There's Fred Smerlas, 10-year veteran out of Boston College.
Don't you know he's glad to see Art Still on one side and Bruce Smith on the other. It's made a terrific difference in his career.
Derek Burrows shaken up on the play for the Bills. 2nd and 7. Stevens hit hard, still keeps the legs turning. Look at this, across the 30 and close to a first down. Let's pause now briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WGRZ TV2 Buffalo.
Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Tom Hammond and John Morris tied at 13. The Patriots and Bills. 10 minutes, 4 seconds left in the third quarter. John Stevens, the rookie, has picked up close to first down yardage. We're going to measure as Derek Burrows, shaken up a moment ago, comes back onto the field. It is enough for the Patriot first down, and John Stevens has been impressive with his running today against a good defense put up by Marv Levy and the Bills.
The Patriots continue to run the ball well. 100 yards rushing in the first half. No change in the game plan here in the second half. Marv Levy's got to find a way for that defense to stop him.
Ball rests at the 31-yard line of the New England Patriots. There's John Stevens, 85 yards rushing today. It's been 35 games since the Patriots have had a 100-yard rusher. Stevens again. Block on the corner. He gets outside, picks up about 7. Ray Bentley got him out of bounds, but not until the Patriots picked up good yardage on first down running.
And 7, second and 3.
All these games now in the second half. Atlanta continues to surprisingly lead the Giants by 10. Denver finally getting on the board with a Kubiak pass. The Broncos struggling without John Elway. And Detroit with a 1-point lead on Kansas City. At Rich Stadium, tied 13-13. 9:35 left in the third quarter. Stevens across the 45 to the 47, and another Patriots first down.
If Stevens can continue to do this, and there's no indication that he can't, there's no sense in the Patriots throwing the ball. They don't want to get Flutie in a position where he can make a mistake. And you've got a running back like John Stevens and an offensive line that can do this. And just keep giving him the ball.
And Johnny is over 100 yards, which is a milestone performance for a Patriot running back. 17 carries, 101 yards for John Stevens.
For a long, long time that a Patriot running back did that. Craig James, who's on injury reserve right now, was the last one.
First down at the 47. The Patriots on the move here in the third quarter. Stevens again. And again, a good run by John Stevens inside the 45 to the 44 of the Bills.
What Buffalo's going to have to do right now is tighten up the defense. That's obvious, but bring the linebackers in tight, even bring the safeties up a little bit. That's what Cincinnati did last week when the Patriots continued to run the ball. And at that point, when they tightened everything down, Flutie started throwing the football. So Buffalo has got to do something to stop the run, but they also know if they do it, the Patriots do have the advantage, can take advantage of it.
See if the signal from the sideline is another running attempt by John Stevens. In fact, it's Dupard that gets the call, and Reggie Dupard pounds forward. And he got enough for a first down. It was second and short, and so Dupard comes in and picks up another Patriot first down on the ground. Bennett and Still combining for the tackle for the Buffalo Bills. But Dupard had first down yardage.
You know, Buffalo's just staying with that straight 3-4 defense against the run, and they're saying, hey, we've got the players that can execute. It's not where we line them up. We've got the athletes that can stop this. Well, Bennett hasn't stopped it so far.
John Stevens getting a rest on the sideline. Dupard and Perryman are in. Dupard. He squirts forward for 2 or 3 yards. Smith and Smurlus got him there, but Dupard, though he has a lot of talent, hasn't shown the running ability that we've seen from Stevens today. John Stevens has just been able to hit the hole and accelerate for that extra 3 or 4 yards.
There he comes back in, a little bit of a rest that time. He scored 1 touchdown today. His longest run, in case you were wondering, hasn't broken one yet. His longest run of his career, and he's a rookie, is 17 yards.
Second and 6 for the Patriots at the 37 of Buffalo. Stevens gets to the outside. Inside the 30-yard line, knocked out of bounds by Leonard Smith. Not much there, but Stevens still made a good run. Now let's go to Gail Gardner for an update.
Okay, Tom, you want to see Saints rookie running back Craig Ironhead Hayward live up to his nickname? First play from scrimmage, second half, bounces off the line, then bowls over Ron Fellows, goes 73 yards, his first NFL touchdown. Saints lead the Raiders 10-6. Let's go back to Tom and John in Buffalo.
Crowd celebrates at the Superdome. Meanwhile, here at Rich Stadium, 13 apiece. 6:41 remaining third quarter. The Patriots have a first down at the 27 of the Bills. Mosey Tutupu is in. Stevens has carried for 120 yards. He's the tailback. Tutupu the upback. Stevens tries to cut it back, and they'll stop him that time. Stevens tried to cut back and gained a yard, maybe 2.
Interesting, isn't it? They continue to run right, and that's right at number 55, Cornelius Bennett. That time the cutback, and some of the other Buffalo Bills made the play. But watch it again. They're running the sweep, had a lot of success to the right. It's supposed to be the outside, but 44 Stevens sees something inside, cuts to the back, and the pursuit gets him. The Patriots have not thrown the ball in this drive, and they started on their own 21-yard line.
It's been old-fashioned football at Rich Stadium today. Not many footballs in the air. The running games have been the dominant offensive feature. 2nd and 8. Dupard. Tough running to the 20. He'll be stopped there. It'll be 3rd down coming up for the Patriots. Art still hanging on and gets Dupard to the turf.
Well, it may not be exciting football, but it's error-free football, and that's what the Patriots have done offensively the last 2 weeks. Tony Easton signaling the play in there. Steve Grogan calls them.
The Patriots had no turnovers in the game against Cincinnati. They had been the NFL's worst at -13, but they forced Cincinnati into 6 turnovers, putting their turnover takeaway ratio at only a -7. Big improvement. They haven't turned the ball over today. 3rd and 3. Dupard tripped up and stopped for a loss in the play. Big defensive play by Ray Bentley, the free agent linebacker, 3 years out of Central Michigan.
Big play by the linebacker Bentley, and a play that was needed to be made by Buffalo. And interestingly enough, it wasn't Bennett right here. Although he ties up the tight end, you expect him to make the big plays. Instead, it's Bennett coming across underneath the block there and makes a big tackle. That is a very big play for Buffalo's defense.
Made by Bentley, who writes children's books. He has a book out, Darby the Dinosaur. On 4th down, Garcia is on to attempt a field goal. It'll be 39 yards. Block. Garcia still wears the collar. He's 0 for 3 in the field goal department today. That one blocked by Buffalo.
2 huge defensive plays by the Buffalo Bills. First on 3rd down to force the Patriots to try the field goal. And now they block it.
And the score remains tied at 13. Howard Ballard, number 75, blocking the field goal attempt by Teddy Garcia, who now has missed 5 field goals in a row and an extra point today. In fact, has missed 6 of his last 7 field goal attempts. Kelly on 1st down intended the pass for Thurman Thomas. It's out of bounds and incomplete. Jim Bowman covering on the play. Shane Conlon, the outstanding linebacker of the Bills, limped off on the last play. We'll get a report on him. Lift off on the last defensive play of the Bills. 35-7, the Bengals. James Brooks with 3 touchdown runs in that game for Cincinnati. You saw Ironhead Haywood a moment ago with his touchdown for the Saints. Pittsburgh, very impressive today. 2nd and 10 for Buffalo. Kelly's pass, a strike, complete to Trumaine Johnson, who has a 1st down. Ronnie Lepet makes the stop. Trumaine Johnson with his biggest day in the NFL this season.
Saw Kelly looking over to the sideline. Ted Marsha-Broda is the coach upstairs that calls the plays. Jim Ringo on the sideline. They've obviously decided it's time to take the wraps off Kelly. First 2 plays on this drive, passes.
That one good for 12 yards, and Kelly has a 1st down. Ball's at about the 37-yard line of Buffalo. Carl Byram bounces outside, spins his way forward to the 40. Got about 3 yards when there wasn't much there. Johnny Rembert finally spinning Byram down. Byram, like Vincent Brown of the Patriots, is a graduate of Mississippi Valley State. Byram, a former teammate of Jerry Rice at that school. In fact, he's Mississippi Valley State's all-time #1 rusher, gained nearly 3,000 yards. 2nd and 7. Wide open, and pass is complete again to Trumaine Johnson. Johnson with blockers down the sideline. Stopped at the 10-yard line. Fred Mary Marion kindly collared Trumaine Johnson, but Kelly hits him wide open for a 50-yard gain.
Anytime you see a receiver so wide open, you've got to suspect a mix-up on the coverage. Trumaine Johnson on the right side, just absolutely wide open as Kelly has good protection. Number 42, Ronnie Lepet, the corner on that side, either missed the coverage or was completely fooled. Now, Trumaine Johnson with some speed is looking for the touchdown.
Johnson now has made 5 receptions for 112 yards. First down for Buffalo at the 10. Thomas, thrown back, perhaps reached the line of scrimmage. Johnny Rembert at the bottom of the stack for the Patriots. And Trumaine Johnson back onto the field after a breather on that 50-yard reception.
How quickly a quarterback like Kelly can light a spark and put some fire into his team. A couple of big plays, all of a sudden Buffalo threatening to score. And it makes you wonder why they didn't do it sooner.
Well, the running game was working. I guess they kept him in reserve, and when they needed him, Kelly has been right on target. 8 of 12, 131 yards. 2nd and 10 coming up. We're tied at 13 with 1:24 to play in the third quarter. Kelly looks for the end zone. Second receiver, wide open, touchdown, Metzeler. Metzelars with a 10-yard touchdown grab. He beat Ronnie Lepet, who's been nursing a leg injury. And the Bills have taken the lead. Scott Norwood will try to make it a 7-point ball. And the kick is good. Jim Kelly goes to the air and directs the Buffalo Bills drive that results in this 10-yard touchdown pass to Pete Metzelars. Buffalo in front. Pete Metzelars of the Bills with his first touchdown catch of the season gives Buffalo the lead. The Bills now up 7 as Scott Norwood is set to kick it off for Buffalo. Cocroft holds it for him, and Norwood puts the foot into it. Taken by Allen at about the 3. Allen hit hard and dropped at the 23-yard line. A lot of blue shirts down there. Jeff Wright leading the way. Let's take a look now again, John, at that touchdown pass to Metzelar.
This is an excellent move by Metzelar. Tight end on the right there lined up. He takes an outside release, and I think he catches the Patriots in a zone here. It's no surprise they throw to Metzelars. 19 catches this year, and it looks like Fred Marion is just a little late coming over. Wide open in the end zone. Good pass by Kelly and good speed by Metzelars. Big touchdown for the Bills.
And Kelly had looked the defense off. He was looking to the left, looked to the right, and there was Metzelars for the touchdown. 59 seconds left in the third quarter. 75-yard drive by the Bills. The big play, a 50-yard pass, Kelly, to Trumaine Johnson. John Stevens stopped at the line of scrimmage. Will the Patriots stay with the running game here?
Well, you can see that defense is fired up right now. That's what a touchdown by your offense will do. Cornelius Bennett trying to get him pumped up. The crowd trying to get him pumped up. Game's on the line right now. Defense can do it for their team, Buffalo Bills.
30 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Patriots sticking with that ground game, which has been productive. But the last time they had it, they went 11 plays with Stevens carrying 7 of them into field goal territory, but Garcia couldn't connect. Flutie completes it to Stevens. He's got a first down close to the 40-yard line. Great catch by Stevens, who went up top to get it and then gained more yardage on the play to turn it into 16 total gain for the Patriots. Talley and Bennett collared John Stevens, but not until he had the first down. And so there's the end of the third quarter here at Rich Stadium. The score, New England 13, Buffalo 20. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. With producer Jeff Himes and director David Hoffman, this is Tom Hammond along with John Morris at Rich Stadium as we start the fourth quarter. A 2013 lead for the Buffalo Bills. New England with a first down at its own 40. John Stevens across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Short gain on the play. Scott Radisick, Fred Smerlas combine on the hit for the Bills.
Isn't it obvious, Tom, that Raymond Berry and the Patriots are going to stay with their game plan? They've been successful rushing 158 yards. Even though they're down a touchdown, they're not going to panic. They're going to stay with it, and that's perfectly in keeping with the way Raymond Berry thinks.
And the way the offensive line thinks. Remember the story about the offensive line, chiefly Bruce Armstrong, who's emerged as their leader, coming to Berry and say, let's stick with the run in some of these situations. They did it successfully last week and hoping to do it here again. John Stevens slips and is pinned to the ground by Cornelius Bennett. And now the Patriots, against a fired-up Bills defense, will have to throw the ball.
Cornelius Bennett has gotten his team fired up. You can almost sense it. You know, he's been out there patting everybody in the back in the huddle and trying to get this defense fired up to stop the run. He did it that time. The Patriots have stayed away from him pretty much. Watch him here. Number 55 on the outside. The tight end blocks down. Now it's Fairchild, the guard, that's supposed to block him. Well, you can say the back slipped, but I think he saw number 55, and that made him slip.
That'll make a lot of people slip. Biscuit, Cornelius Bennett. 3rd and 10 for New England. Dime defense in for the Buffalo Bills. Flutie. Defense closes in and buries him at the 32. Here's Cornelius Bennett one more time. First sack of the day for the Buffalo Bills. Flutie goes down, and the Patriots will have to punt.
Good pursuit by Bennett to the outside because this is a design play. They're running out, sprinting out all the way. He just beats Bruce Armstrong, and now it's speed versus speed. And Flutie says, oh, I can't run away from this guy, and down he goes.
Well, the S troop, still Smerlas, Seals. Getting some help from the B-man, Cornelius Bennett. Very good kick. Low line drive kick that takes a New England bounce and then comes back on them. They'll down it at about the 32-yard line. Punt was down by Allen after it covered only 30 yards. And so Buffalo, very impressive with Jim Kelly throwing the ball on its last drive with good field position to start here. What kind of player is Cornelius Bennett? Here's what the Bills defensive coach Walt Corey had to say.
If I were the quarterback, I'd look over my shoulder too with number 55 out there.
Buffalo keeps it on the ground to Thurman Thomas, and New England ready for him. Stops him for a loss of 2. Lawrence McGrew led the charge.
Before that carry, Thurman Thomas had 81 yards rushing. There's really been only one series that Buffalo has thrown it. Now they've got the lead. Probably go back to that conservative offense.
Kelly looks over for the play call as you saw Harmon enter the Buffalo Bills huddle. Thomas came out, and Harmon, who is an excellent pass receiver, the second leading receiver behind Reed on this Buffalo team. And Kelly finds him. Harmon can't hold it.
Yeah, Kelly's upset with that one because it should have been caught. It might have been a first down. Just a little short sprint out. And at this stage in the game, he doesn't like to see mistakes like that.
There you saw the Kelly numbers, and Doug Flutie on the New England sideline has not had as good a day as has his Buffalo counterpart.
Not sure they give him the opportunity to. When he's just handing the ball off, it's a little difficult.
The Patriots have outgained the Bills on the ground. Buffalo leads it by 7. Kelly's pass knocked off and intercepted. Great defense by Raymond Claiborne, the veteran who gets his second interception of the season and the 33rd of his career. The New England leader in interceptions batted the ball in the air, intended for Trumaine Johnson, then pulled it down for the 4th turnover against Buffalo today.
Tremendous job by Claiborne over there on the corner. He's been to 3 Pro Bowls. He's in his 12th year. A lot of people thought maybe his career was on the wane. Not that time. Made a nice interception. Maybe Kelly hung the ball up there a little too long. That's Ronnie Lepet going off the field, the Patriots' other cornerback who was injured coming into this game.
Lepet has suffered a right leg injury against Green Bay, was inactive last week against Cincinnati. But back in the starting lineup today, being helped from the field.
But turnovers continue to plague the Bills. Key interception that time gives the Patriots a chance to tie it.
That was the 4th against Buffalo today. New England capitalized with scores on 2 of the first 3 miscues. From the 34. John Stevens. Look at the pile of blue shirts move with Stevens supplying the locomotion down at the bottom of the stack. That is great running by John Stevens. Let's take a look at Claiborne's interception one more time.
This is excellent coverage by Claiborne, but let's see if Kelly maybe hung that ball up a little bit too long. Out of the shotgun, it'll be on the left side of your screen. There goes the throw. It looks like it's floating a little bit. Nevertheless, Claiborne's in position to make the play. Gets his body in position, now finds the football, and a key interception by Raymond Claiborne.
Boy, was that a heads-up play to find the football after he had batted it into the air. There's Raymond Claiborne. 2nd and 6 for his offense now. Hope to get some points out of the interception. Flutie hands again to Stevens, and Stevens again makes the stack move and has a New England first down. Scott Radisek finally stopping him. Stevens has a load to bring down. Look at this. Warren Moon has hit a couple of touchdown passes, and the Oilers back into the game. Pittsburgh continues to waylay Denver. Here at Rich Stadium, we've got a 2013 game, less than 11 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and New England driving with a first down at the Buffalo 23-yard line. This coming after the Claiborne interception. Perryman blasts ahead for about 7. That time they gave it to the fullback in the I formation. And it was Robert Perryman that carried it forward, with Art Still finally getting him down. Perryman, the 2nd leading rusher on this team.
Keep seeing those blue shirts of Buffalo going backwards, and that means the Patriots offensive line is controlling that line of scrimmage, and they're doing it with some people hurt. Paul Fairchild's in there. Sean Farrell got hurt early. Maddich is playing left tackle, and yet they're controlling the line of scrimmage.
Shane Conlon will go to the sideline, a little shaken up, the leading tackler for the Bills. Stevens and Perryman on the backfield, 2nd and 4. Bruce Smith was offside. He got to the ball before Flutie did.
Stevens is upset with him, too, because Smith knew he was offsides and still went over there and took a little shot at Flutie.
He was on his way. He could have taken the snap from center.
See, that should be a penalty right there.
Encroachment, number 78.
I don't mean the offsides. I mean taking the shot at the quarterback.
New England has run the ball successfully on the Bills. 175 yards today. The only other team to have any success running the ball against Buffalo were the Chicago Bears. On October 2nd, they gained 163 yards. So the Patriots have the high against the Bills rushing today, 175.
I guess that shows you what I know about football, Tom. I think I said in the pregame, there's no way the Patriots can run on this Buffalo defense.
First down for New England, 175 yards rushing, only 50 through the air for the Pats. John Stevens dives, a flag goes down. Stevens to the 8-yard line. Ray Bentley covers him there. Let's check the penalty. This could be very costly for the Patriots.
Costly because it forces them into a passing situation. You know, all this talk about the Patriots running game, they still trail in this game.
Holding, 68, offense, first down.
Is that the 3rd one on Mike Babb?
3rd penalty holding against Mike Babb, the starting center of the Patriots. And boy, is that a big one. They were moving the ball on the ground, looked to be in good position to perhaps tie the game. Now they face a 1st and 20, and it changes the concept completely.
Well, you know you're playing against the great nose tackle in Fred Smerlas when you've got 3 holding calls. I think that indicates it. Smerlas, very difficult to power off the line.
From the 22-yard line. Flutie in the pocket. Complete to the 15-yard line. Stanley Morgan makes the catch. Derek Burrows takes him down there. But Morgan, the third leading receiver, former first-round draft choice, the 12-year veteran, makes the catch.
A lot of the critics of Doug Flutie say he can't throw the ball. He doesn't have a strong enough arm in the National Football League. This time on the in pattern to Morgan, he drills it in there. I said earlier that he has trouble in the pocket. This time he gets protection. Look at this. There's nothing wrong with this pass. Plenty of arm strength on that one. Hits him right between the numbers.
That got back 8 of the 20 yards. It's now 2nd and 12. Flutie has to scramble this time. And it'll be incomplete. Flutie let it go. It'll be an incomplete pass. The fans wanting the intentional grounding as Scott Radisick was all over Flutie. But they'll rule it an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Awful lot of officials in the stands here today, 80,000 of them, and they've disagreed with about 3 calls. That time, not so much the call as Flutie just throwing it up for grabs. You've got to be awfully careful with that.
There's the man who is putting on the pressure. Scott Radisick.
Well, 3rd and 12 now. Ideal for Flutie's rollout here.
And you see how costly that holding call was. Flutie for the end zone. Morgan. Interference. Dwight Drain will be called for interference in the end zone.
And it was a unanimous decision because 3 flags went down. Drain is not going to have too many legs to stand on in that situation. It was going to be a touchdown. Without the interference, it looked like it was going to be a touchdown. Stanley Morgan on the outside, breaks it to the inside, and then back out again. Clearly, he's beaten Drain right here. This is a touchdown, and Drain, nothing else he can do but make the interference.
Clearly, interference. Drain seemed to be flat-footed and then got a late start, and all he could do was interfere with Morgan.
I think it would have been a touchdown had Flutie thrown the ball sooner. You could see on the break right there that Morgan was open, but the ball was late getting there.
Also, defensive holding is declined. First down.
There was also a defensive holding call against the Bills. So it is 1st and goal for New England from the Buffalo 1-yard line. Now they can go back to the running game.
And rest assured they will.
Keep your eye on John Stevens, number 44.
Marv Levy is screaming. I think he was saying Shane Conlon, his linebacker, trying to get his attention.
Well, if you watch for 44, he's on the sideline. Dupard and Perryman are in there on short yardage. Flutie is knocked down as he got the snap. Smurlus beat the count, number 76. There's a flag down. If it's offside, he surely doesn't like it.
I think he's probably saying that somebody pulled him offside.
He just exploded against Mike Babb and Doug Flutie, and bodies went flying everywhere. Oh, he's mad.
Would you say he's mad? I would, yes.
4-time Pro performer, former All-American wrestler in high school. He wrestles almost the snap away here. What's this?
See if we can see any movement in there that might have pulled him off sides. I don't see any, do you?
I'm telling you. He and the ball arrived at Flutie simultaneously. He was against the Buffalo, though, so half the distance to the goal. From the half-yard line, 1st and goal as the Patriots try to get a second-half score. Nothing there. Second effort as a flag goes down. Perryman struggling. There is a penalty marker on the play. Bentley stopped up the hole.
What a shot by Bentley. See what this call is.
Now half the distance to half the distance.
The harder part about this is figuring out where to put the football.
Can you score this way?
I was wondering. I was just thinking the same thing. 5 straight, can they get it in the end zone?
How do you measure that, half the distance?
Yeah.
So it's going to be on the quarter-yard line now. Eason and Grogan talking to Flutie.
Offside defense.
Offside defense must have been a gang of them.
Maybe he was afraid to call it on Smurlus again.
I don't blame him. All right, we're about 5 inches from the goal line. 1st and goal for the Patriots. Dupard and Perryman in the backfield. This is Perryman. Still no signal.
Well, don't think he made it. Flutie signaling touchdown, but I don't think they made it.
No striped shirts have said touchdown yet. Only the Patriots have signaled a score as Raymond Berry seemingly impassively looks on. Flutie didn't like that call. He thought he had the touchdown.
Well, it's still second down, so he's instead of arguing with the official, you got to get back in the huddle and then try it again.
There's Eason with the call. Is he calling the plays? Is Grogan telling Eason what to signal?
Grogan actually calls the play. Eason signals them in.
All right, the ball just about where it was, inches short of the goal line. Second and goal. Good look at it from ground level. Perryman. Touchdown. It wasn't easy, but Perryman finally banged it across.
I thought I saw a flag out there, Tom, but I'm looking on the field now. I thought I saw official throw one, but no flag down on the ground.
I don't see any flag either, so the touchdown will stand. And now they're only a Garcia point away from tying the score. Remember,
Yep.
Garcia missed an extra point earlier in the game.
So don't go away. This game isn't tied yet.
Here it is from the low angle.
Perryman on second effort makes this one.
Here's the kick. This one is good. So Garcia, as the crowd got a charge out of it anyway, hits that one. He's got to be feeling a little better now. And the Patriots take advantage of the Claiborne interception to tie the game at 20. Tom Hammond and John Morris at Rich Stadium. Here's Garcia's kickoff after the Patriots take advantage of the turnover to tie the game. Tucker a yard deep in the end zone. Looks to get outside and hemmed in by white shirts. Retreating, he still hasn't gone down. Finally does at the 15-yard line. So 6:54 left in the game. Thomas Benson down to make the tackle. That's the time remaining in a 20-20 tie.
And it's always a close one when these two teams meet. It was the last time in New England, and the last time the Patriots won a game here in Rich Stadium was in 1981, and it came down to the very last play, a Hail Mary pass that Buffalo hit in the end zone to beat them.
Buffalo turnovers have kept the Patriots in the game. They've turned it over 4 times. New England has turned 3 of those into points. All 20 points for New England as a result of turnovers today. From the 15. Kelly, plenty of time. Fires it complete again to Trumaine Johnson. Trumaine Johnson gets good yardage for a Buffalo first down. Jim Bowman pins him, but Johnson had 22 yards.
Boy, Trumaine Johnson's been the story of this one, hasn't he? For Buffalo.
Johnson, everyone was expecting Andre Reed to come back after the super performance against the Jets in Indianapolis the week before that, but Trumaine Johnson has been the primary target for Jim Kelly today. Kelly again with plenty of time. Now is flushed out of the pocket. Throws it complete. 4 or 5 yard gain on the play before Andre Reed is knocked down by Raymond Claiborne.
That may be the first catch of the day for Andre Reed. Second catch of the day, I believe. But again, Kelly with too much time to throw. You can see him now start to look. There's Andre Tippett, who hasn't played too much today, but he's been in there in the second half, forces him back to the left. Kelly on the run picks up 5 yards. Andre Reed still playing with a broken wrist. I think you may be able to see the tape or cast on his wrist there, but it certainly hasn't slowed him down this year.
28 straight now for Andre Reed. 2nd and 7. Riddick. That screen was fouled up from the outset, although Riddick does manage to get back to the line of scrimmage. Brent Williams gets in the middle of the interference to take Riddick down. Kelly has hit on 12 of 18, 165 yards, 1 touchdown, but the 1 interception which led to the tying score for New England. Tim Goad, their rookie nose guard, is injured on the play, so we'll take a break. 5:15 remaining of a tie game at Rich Stadium. Tie game here at Rich Stadium with 5:15 left, and John Morris possession play, 3rd down coming up for the Bills. Jim Kelly looked to Trumaine Johnson, perhaps?
I think that's where he's going to go. He's going to throw the ball on this drive. good game, though, isn't it, Tom? It's been an excellent game between two teams that have been going at each other for a long time. One of the oldest rivalries in the National Football League, and they haven't disappointed us today.
Everybody in the AFC East, of course, rooting for the Patriots because the Bills, with only one loss this season and unbeaten in their division. Third down, 6 to go for Buffalo. Oh, and they got a free one here. The Patriots are offside. Kelly slides down at the 45-yard line. Andre Tippett jumped offside, and that's a 15-yard gain for Jim Kelly, who knew he had a free one.
This is a free one, and almost as though a couple of people quit on the play, except for Kelly. Now it's offsides. Kelly knows it. Now he's looking downfield for his receivers. Missed tackle right there, too. But this is a big play because it gets it across midfield into Patriot territory. And a couple of times Kelly's done that. He's not a scrambler, but boy, he can pick up some key plays when he does run.
3 rushes for 27 yards. We noted earlier he's the third leading ground gainer on the team. Well, is this deja vu? Scott Norwood hit a 41-yard field goal with 11 seconds left to win the earlier meeting between these two. Carl Byram lowers his head, pounds forward to the 40-yard line, where he's stopped by Vincent Brown. He got about 4 yards on the carry.
Looks like Buffalo wants to try and use some time now. They've got it into scoring position. There's still 4:23 left to go in the game, so now you'll see they'll slow it down a little bit here. Try and use up that clock as much as they can.
Scott Norwood's longest field goal this year has been 49 yards. He's hit 9 of 10 career field goal attempts against New England. 2nd and 6. Byram again. And again, tough yardage to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, but now they're in a sticky situation. He didn't get enough yardage, so it's going to be 3rd and about, 2 or 3, I think.
On third downs today, Buffalo has converted 4 of 10. 5 times they've tried to rush the ball on third down. They've been successful 4. 5 times they've tried to pass on third down, and they haven't converted one yet. This one is 3rd and 1. Ball's at the 36 of the Patriots. Very tight formation. Riddick upended across the 35, and apparently enough for the first down. What do you think?
I think he got it, but this is amazing. Every time they need 1 yard, in comes Riddick, the designated 1-yard plunger.
They unstack the bodies.
I don't know, Riddick's not so sure. He's looking over the sideline saying, wait a minute, this is close.
They're going to measure. This would be interesting now. Would you go for the field goal, or would you go for the first down?
Yeah, that brings up a real tough choice for Marv Levy. I think you've got to go for the first down, because where are they? The 35-yard line. It's a long field goal.
Kelly comes over for a chat while the sticks go out.
Oh.
And it's short. So Riddick dived but didn't get enough. And here's that 4th down. Kidd would be the holder for a field goal attempt by Norwood. Here's the play again by Riddick.
No movement by the Buffalo offensive line. Tim Goad made good penetration there. Patriots stop him. But you saw Marv Levy right before the replay. He waved, go for it. He never hesitated for a second.
So from the 35-yard line, 4th down, less than a yard for the Buffalo Bills. Byram and Riddick in the backfield. They line up in the I formation. Riddick the tailback, Byram the fullback. Riddick dives again. This time he's got it. Boy, he was holding the football out there dangerously.
There was almost a huge collision in midair. That body you saw flying in the opposite direction was number 52, John Rembert. But Riddick picks up, well, maybe the key first down of the game right there.
Coming down to the final minutes of all these games in the NFL today as we come to the halfway point of the season. Approaching the 2-minute warning. Actually, Buffalo could come to the 2-minute warning without running a play if they desire. They've got about 3 seconds leeway.
That's what they're going to do. They'll just stay right there.
So we'll come to the 2-minute warning with the game on the line at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. 2 minutes left, tied at 20. Tom Hammond and John Morris at Rich Stadium. Raymond Berry and the Patriots trying to hold on to a tie with 2 minutes left. And Buffalo threatening with a first down at the New England 33. Byram, the first man through. Good running room inside the 25. Down to the 23-yard line where he's pinned by Jim Bowman. Each team with all 3 timeouts remaining. That one good for 11 yards and another Buffalo first down.
Byram's generally noted as a blocking back for Buffalo, but he's made some key runs today. We've got a good one right down to the end again.
Earlier meeting, one on a field goal by Scott Norwood with 11 seconds left. 16-14, the Bills at Foxborough. And Norwood, the man waiting in the wings once again. Meanwhile, a timeout taken by the Patriots. So we'll take a break as well. 1:32 remaining, and the issue still in doubt. On the left, the New England kicker Garcia, who could have given the Patriots the lead. On the right, the Bills kicker Norwood, who may be called on to win it for Buffalo. 1:32 left. First down for the Buffalo Bills at the 22-yard line of the New England Patriots. Jim Kelly looking to the sideline for the play. New England took that timeout, their first of the second half. Probably didn't like the defense they had on the field. National Football League rules require that we present away games starting with the opening kickoff to stations in the team's home area. So viewers in New York will be leaving this game in a few minutes for a telecast involving the Jets and the Dolphins, who will continue to bring you reports on this game. Carl Byram hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a couple. Vincent Brown is there, and the Patriots call another timeout. 1:26 left, and they're preserving some time in case Buffalo kicks the field goal. They want a chance to tie it up again.
Exactly. Good call that time of the Patriots. I think the first timeout they used was because of a mix-up in their coverage of the defense, but that time they quickly called the timeout. And it looks as though Buffalo is going to try and use up as much time as they can and then settle with a field goal. And if I had Scott Norwood on my team, I think I'd go along with that decision. He doesn't miss very many.
All right, we said that Norwood was the man that kicked the winner against New England earlier this year. Scott Norwood connecting on September 18th at Foxborough. 41 yards out, 11 seconds left. Here's how it looked. Kidd is the holder. Norwood trying to win the game for the Bills on the road. The kick is true, and the Buffalo Bills come away with a 16-14 victory, breaking an 11-game losing streak against the Patriots. Now Norwood waits in the wings here, perhaps with another opportunity to win it for Buffalo. 2nd and 8 for the Bills. Thurman Thomas spins his way inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
You know they're going to run the ball. The Patriots are making no attempt to strip the ball away from the ball carrier. Just one hit that time. Down he went. You'd think you'd see a lot of white shirts around the ball trying to get it.
Thomas has done a good job rushing. Kelly was there when they needed him through the air. Trumaine Johnson, his best game as a Buffalo Bill. There's a timeout taken with 1:06 left as New England calls its final timeout of the game. Raymond Berry hopes for a chance to perhaps tie the game up when he gets the ball back.
Well, that was their final timeout, Tom. If the Buffalo gets a first down, they won't have to kick a field goal. They'll just run the clock out.
Stevens with the first 100-yard rushing game for the Patriots in 35 games, but Garcia missed an extra point, 0 for 3 in field goals, and perhaps that'll spell defeat for New England.
That's absolutely the story here, and the Patriots cut their kicker of Tony Franklin last year. He was released in training camp, just signed with the Miami Dolphins last week. Franklin told the press down there the reason he was let go was because he was making too much money. Maybe he was right.
Crucial play coming up in the game. There's Garcia, the New England kicker. Will he wear the goat horns today? 3rd and 2, the Patriots out of timeouts. The Bills have a full complement remaining. Thomas stops short of the first down and thrown back. It'll be Scott Norwood to attempt the field goal to perhaps win it for the Buffalo Bills.
Big effort by the Patriots on defense because the first down there and the game's over. Now at least you force Norwood to do it under pressure.
If they let the clock tick down, there will be about 15 or 16 seconds left for New England after Norwood's attempt.
Always comes right down to the wire, it seems, between these two teams. And we talked about it early in the game that perhaps Buffalo was flat, but I think as the game wore on, it became a real trench warfare, and these two teams got after each other, particularly in the second half, and it's been decided on the line of scrimmage, whichever way it goes.
Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is WGRZ TV2 Buffalo.
Scott Norwood onto the field to try to win it for the Buffalo Bills.
He's just out there concentrating. The team is to his right in the huddle. He's about 5 yards away from the huddle, and he's trying to envision this field goal in his mind before he kicks it.
He has been a clutch performer for the Buffalo Bills. There are 17 seconds remaining. Buffalo stopped the clock with a timeout at that point.
It's all concentration at this point. Just envision that ball right between the uprights.
This will be about a 32-yard attempt. John Kidd is the holder. This could be for the game. The crowd will tell us the result of Norwood's field goal attempt. Let's listen.
Stadium sense that this team is going to the playoffs halfway through the season, and they've only lost one football game.
That drive, I should say, covered 69 yards in 13 plays, a 33-yard field goal by Scott Norwood. Now Doug Flutie will get one last gasp chance to get something on the board for the Patriots. Just 13 seconds left.
Flutie made his reputation in college in a situation like this.
Did he ever?
Against Miami. The miracle in Miami that everybody in New England remembers.
Thanks to our spotters, Mike Gluck and Pete Fairley. Our stats, Kerry Haller and Larry Pollock. Tom Howland and John Morris. Jeff Himes and David Hoffman, all our gang in the truck and along the sidelines here with a great job from Rich Stadium. What a game it's been. Fryer and Martin are deep for the Pats. They need a good return to the kickoff. Little squib kick. Clock starts. This is Martin. He'll be down at about the 33-yard line. Don Graham got him there. 7 seconds on the clock. Well, can Doug Flutie pull out another miracle? Remember the one against Miami when he played at Boston College. That's how far he has to go. A lot of real estate.
The opposing quarterback on that Miami team was Bernie Kosar.
Here's Flutie. 7 seconds left.
All he can do it.
Buffalo defense is all over the field. The safeties are standing at their own 35-yard line.
He's just got to throw it downfield, then they've got to have a couple of laterals. That's the only chance they've got. He can't throw it into the end zone from where he is.
Flutie being chased and trapped. Bruce Smith puts the clincher on the win for the Buffalo Bills. makes sure that Flutie doesn't pull another miracle, and Buffalo has the win over New England. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hello once again, everybody. I'm Chris Berman, and welcome to Week 8 of NFL Prime Time, along with Tom Jackson, Pete Axthelm, John Saunders. A veritable plethora of high-scoring games today in the NFL, which means mucho highlights. Very quickly, let's update you on the late games. Seattle went into the Rams, and Chuck Knox still can't beat his former club, L.A., as the Seahawks have yet to beat them. Rams win big today in Anaheim, 31-10. Cleveland and Phoenix. This is an excellent ball game. Kosar is back. The Browns have gone back on top on a Kosar to Langhorne touchdown pass about midway through the fourth quarter. They lead at 27-21 in Phoenix. Talk about a wild game. The Jets and the Miami Dolphins. Well, that game has plenty to go, about 6 minutes, and the Jets had a big lead. The Dolphins have clawed back. It is the Jets 37 and Miami 30. Washington and Green Bay, the game being played in Milwaukee. The Skins have a lead by a field goal, 20-17, on a short chip shot by Chip Lowmiller early in the fourth quarter. And at San Diego, it is now a final. The Colts have defeated Mark Malone and the San Diego Chargers 16-0. On to the game of the day, which going in had to be the battle for supremacy in the AFC Central. A battle between the Houston Oilers, who were 5-2, and the Cincinnati Bengals, who were at 6-1. If you watched our game day program this morning, you heard Sam Weiss talk about this game with great vigor.
I think the whole nation wants to find out what these Bengals are made of, and they're going to find out Sunday.
And boy, did they find out. The Bengals fans were ready. Jerry Glanville left tickets for Lonnie Anderson, but his team was, well, a bust. Ickey Woods caps off the opening drive with a 2-yard plunge, and very early the Bengals lead at 7-0. On the ensuing kickoff, more dancing for the Bengals. Leonard Harris on the return for the Oilers. He is nailed by Mark Logan. Jim Riggs recovers it. And they whistled it dead, but it set up a James Brooks touchdown, 14-0 in the first. Next series, Warren Moon looking right. Picked off by one of the fine corners of the Bengals, Eric Thomas, who had a pair of INTs today. That sets up a Brooks blast, 21-0 Bengals. Later in the first quarter, Warren Moon in more trouble as they try to resurrect, I guess, the Statue of Liberty play. But Leo Barker swats the ball, picks it in midair. He could go all the way. 34-yard touchdown, 28-0 Bengals in the first quarter. Most they've ever scored in the first quarter. Then when they had the ball in offense, Tommy.
They have two outstanding offensive linemen here. You see Anthony Munoz sealing off on a run play. You see Max Montoya doing the same thing, just mushing forward. When they work as a unit, it results in big yardage for Brooks and Ickey Woods.
And Brooks, the only guy that could have stopped him on that play, I guess it was the referee. 28-7 Bengals at the half. But the Oilers get in it, trailing 35-21. Warren Moon for Ernest Gibbons. Look at the play by Mr. Thomas at the corner of the end zone. And when Moon did get the ball there, Curtis Duncan couldn't hold on. Frustrating day indeed for Warren Moon, who saw a bad moon rising in Cincinnati. 13 of 32 on the day. The game didn't go without laughs. The fake punt, Scott Fulich to Ray Horton, who rumbles 70 yards. He didn't know there was a flag on the play that called it back for holding, but Sam Weiss pulling out all stops in his very thick playbook. In the fourth quarter, Bengals kick off leading 42-21. Curtis Duncan on the return, and you're going to see a strange number here. Number 80, Chris Collinsworth. Yes, he said, I'm not playing much. Let me help the ball club by playing special teams. Nice tackle for Collinsworth. At the 2-minute warning, Moon is going to be harassed by Jim Scow. He loses the ball, and let's pick it up. Oh, the Bengals have a chance for a touchdown, and we have another chance for a touchdown. Still a safety, and the Bengals unleash the fans on Miami. They feel they're Miami bound as they rolled the Houston Oilers today, 44-21. And after the game, Sam Weiss said, you know, last week we lost to New England. At that time, some people thought that the Bengals' ride was over.
Well, we lost one. Now we came in this week saying the same thing. Now everybody's going to want to know, are they going to fold? Is it all over? is Jim Mora's comment at halftime last year that just stay after the Bengals, they'll fold, they'll quit. Was that still an accurate statement? It's not.
It is not an accurate statement. If the Bengals are 7-1, Tommy, you showed some of the bit on the offensive line. I mean, they've had big guys there for a long time, and it's amazing how you can tee off with a lead, too, isn't it?
The key to those big guys is the fact that they're as good at run blocking as they are at pass blocking. I think that when you look at the yardage they put up running the ball, you can't concentrate on Esiason. Over 100 yards by Brooks today, 50 more thrown in there by Ickey Woods, 4 touchdowns between them. Awfully hard team to read defensively.
And Boomer playing well, and when the defense makes plays like that, what can you say? Axe, the Bengals have piled up a big lead, but for a while there, Houston looked like they got back in it.
Well, I think one big difference with the Bengals this year, contrasted to their late losses last year, they lost so many games late, is that Sam Weiss has figured out since he can't kill Jim Mora or Chuck Noll or me or any of his other enemies, he'll kill the opposition. He tries to put them away. But today, he went into a bit of a prevent, let Houston back into it right up to a point where they were only 14 down, and it could have been 7.
Yeah, it was in the third quarter, and was, what, 35-21 at the time, Axe, and this is what happened.
And here, Moon drops back. Drew Hill races into the end zone. For once, Moon's better passes, hits him in a very bad spot right between the 8 and the 5. Here's a replay. Right on the hands, and that's what happened to anyone who cared about the Oilers today. And Sam, if you don't quite kill everyone, it looks like the goddess of luck is also helping you a little bit, too.
We may not be able to kill Chuck Noll, may not be able to kill Jim Mora, but we'll tell him where you're at, Axe. The Bengals look great as they get back in the winning ways. Very impressively, they lead their division by at least 2, well, over 2 on the Oilers. We're waiting for the Browns score. When we return, we have plenty to talk about, including the Patriots and the Buffalo Bills. Could they go to 7-1?
NFL Primetime is being brought to you by Mazda and the exciting new Mazda cars and trucks for 1989. By Allstate. For home, auto, and life insurance, you're in good hands with Allstate. And by Thrifty Car Rental. For worldwide reservations, call 1-800-4CAR.
All right, welcome back to NFL Primetime. 2 of the late games were final before. Let's update you on the other ones. Cleveland has tacked on a safety at Phoenix. Cliff Stout had the ball stripped by Charles Buchanan. He fell on it in the end zone, but it's 29-21 now Browns. So they look to win down in Phoenix. Dan Marino threw an interception, picked off by the Jets' Carl Howard. Looks like Dolphins will get the ball back, but they still trail it by 7, 37-30. And with just seconds to go, Max Zendejas missed a chip shot for the Packers. It looks as if they're just seconds away, the Redskins are, from winning with Doug Williams at quarterback over the Packers in Milwaukee, 20-17, and we'll update you on all those a little bit later on. Well, much as the Bengals were 6-1 going in, so were the Buffalo Bills, but there was a big difference. The Bills are coming off a major, major win on Monday night. Would they be, quote, hungover? Well, earlier this year, they beat New England 16-14 in Foxborough. Would this game back at Rich Stadium be another close one? They're selling out these days in Rich Stadium, and with very good reason. But Andre Tippett says, I'm back in the lineup, and he tips the ball away from Jim Kelly. Garrett Barris recovers. New England trying to put some points on the board early. Enter Teddy Garcia. The Patriots might have been better with Jerry Garcia. He's singing the Mexicali Blues. It's a 25-yarder that he misses badly. First quarter, more turnovers. Kelly's pass to Rodney Hartman, stripped by Jim Bowman. Fumble. Fred Marion jumps on it. And the Patriots look to take advantage here, and Doug Flutie didn't have great numbers on the day, but makes a difficult throw, Tom.
Well, I thought it was his best throw of the day under a lot of pressure.
To Irving Fryer, touchdown, 7-0 Pats. There are Doug's stats, but no interceptions, at least. Boy, a lot of teams wish they could have drafted Thurman Thomas in the first round. Don't you think? This 19-yard run helped set up the Bills' first touchdown, which tied the game at 7. Thurman has been the workhorse, second-round pick from Oklahoma State. What bum knee? 20 for 84 yards. More Bills turnovers, though, in the second quarter. Errol Tucker camps under this punt by Jeff Beagles and simply takes his eye off the ball. New England recovers it. And this will set up number 44, John Stevens, a young man who we've heard so much about. Look at him run with authority. It's a pretty-looking 11-yard touchdown, folks. Garcia, of course, missed the extra point. It's only 13-10. Stevens, 134 yards on the day. With the Patriots leading 13-10 in the second quarter, reverse time. Marv opening up the book week after week. A little more. Andre Reed will go 36 yards, and Lepet barely trips him up, or he might have gone all the way. It sets up a Norwood field goal, ties it at 13. Third quarter, Teddy Garcia, 39-yarder. Blocked, it hit someone in the armpit. Howard Ballard. Third quarter, game still tied at 13. Kelly to Trumaine Johnson. Johnson makes a pretty move. You know he can fly. This will be a 15-yard hookup. Johnson caught 6 on the day, playing for the injured Chris Burkett. The Bills have grabbed a 20-13 lead in the fourth quarter, but Robert Perryman ties it for the Pats with a 1-yard burst. And we stay that way till 13 seconds to go. And a guy who has been automatic. Patriots can't kick. Scott Norwood certainly can. 33-yard field goal. The Bills on a Norwood field goal lead at 23-20. Last gasp for Flutie. Bruce Smith will throw Flutie 80 yards instead of Doug throwing the ball 80 yards. Watch Bruce. Yes, 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 and he didn't see it, but he was happy, and the Bills beat the Patriots by a count of 23-20. They're now 7-1. New England is really pretty much out of the race. Raiders at the Saints. Another team looking to go 7-1. And this is why Thomas Benson goes down on the field to dance. Reggie Sutton does some hitting on Marcus Allen right there. And so does, boom, Antonio Gibson. Marcus earned his yards. Bo Jackson started off well, Tom.
Started off well, and not enough of this for the Raiders during the day.
He had 2 carries for 45 yards, but left in the first quarter with a hamstring problem. Rex Stewart found out what life as an umpire is all about. Lonzel Hill and a few anxious Raiders nail him. He hangs in there. The umpire is the guy right in the middle of the play. Watch this. Oh, he's just leveled. They take him off the field, but give him the nod. Number 103 is back. Rex Stewart, the Purple Heart Award of the day. Jay Schrader, with a nice pass to Mervin Fernandez, makes the move on Brett Maxey, and he's gone 85 yards. Barr missed the extra point. It's 6-3 Raiders. But it wasn't all good news for L.A. because Charlie Hanna gets hurt.
It's bad to see this offensive lineman take a chance on this happening all the time. The lineman or defensive lineman rolling up on your legs. Here they roll up on both of Charlie Hanna's legs.
And he had to be carried off the field with a broken ankle. We hope he's all right. Craig Hayward, boom, just nails Ron Fellows. Iron head goes all the way for his first touchdown in the NFL. His first 100-yard day, 73 yards for the #1 pick. And the Saints lead it 10-6. Jay Schrader, we said, Tommy, you said last week he was the answer. We're still trying to figure out the question. Marcus Allen, well, the question is, who was traded for Jim Lachey, of course. Schrader 5 of 20 today, and that's not good. Meanwhile, Bobby Hebert gets a nice catch from Reuben Mays, which sets up his tailback mate, Dalton Hilliard, for a 7-yard burst. Saints in control, 17-6. Then Ricky Jackson, interesting haircut, interesting hits today. Here he nails Steve Berline, who for the second straight week replaced Schrader, and then he picks off Steve Berline to seal a 20-6 Saint win. And hey, we talked about him earlier. Who dat say they're going to beat them Saints? Who dat? That owner Tom Benson. As the Saints go on to beat the Los Angeles Raiders 20-6. Marcus did have 102 yards, but Hayward, the star on the day, at least on offense for the Saints, who have now won 16 of their last 17 regular season ball games, and they are at 7-1. Tommy, let's go quickly to the Raiders because, I mean, this is a team that obviously needs some help at the quarterback spot.
Not only at the quarterback spot, the Raiders are an attitude. I learned that over a lot of years of playing with them. Today, Bo starts off the game. I think that was their plan. We're going to run Bo a lot more. 2 rushes, 45 yards, and he's out. You're missing Todd Christensen. You're missing Howie Long. A lot of that attitude out of there. They thought that Schrader would be the guy to pick him up. They were 1 player away. They might be more than 1 player away.
All right, and the Saints, let's give them credit. They don't look good winning. They've won 7 in a row. And again, no turnovers today. No interceptions, no fumbles. They play within themselves. Axe out of the New England-Buffalo game where I know you love place kickers. You found a new idol, huh?
Well, I certainly did. In fact, I have a report here from a travel agency in Boston. The tickets for Teddy Garcia's departure from Boston are ready, and every airline in the area has agreed to hold the flights indefinitely so Teddy can catch it on his way out of town, because it would be, you know, they want something this week that he didn't miss.
Teddy Garcia, you know, in 8 weeks has missed 5 extra points. I remember Booth Lustig of the Chargers in the 60s missed a 19-yard field goal to win the game. When he came out to practice the next day, the entire team was lined up kicking 19-yard field goals. Maybe that'll happen at New England tomorrow. And the news for the Bills is that they have a 2.5-game lead in their division. album version intro. Final now from Phoenix. Cleveland has defeated the Cardinals 29-21. Bernie threw for 314 yards today. Welcome back, Mr. Kosar. It was a final at Milwaukee. The Pack fell by a field goal to the Skins, 20-17. But while we're talking about the Jets-Miami game, that is 37-30. The Jets have driven deep into Miami territory trying to get a score that would seal that win. Back to an early game in Philadelphia between the Cowboys and the Eagles that John Saunders watched almost as intently as Buddy Ryan and Tom Landry.
Yeah, we know that Tom Landry and Buddy Ryan have at least one thing in common. They're both head coaches. But that's where the similarities end. Can you imagine Buddy Ryan on the sidelines with a sport coat and a top hat? It would never happen. And after they thought that Buddy tried to run it up against the Dallas Cowboys last year, the Eagles hate the Cowboys and the Cowboys hate the Eagles. First quarter, scuffle breaks out as both teams remember last year and the grudge matches. Jerome Brown and Crawford Kerr mix it up here early on. So Buddy Ryan calls his team together and says, hey guys, we can beat this team without the fisticuff. It's America's team, but not in Philadelphia. Cowboys passing game looked good early. Steve Pallur hits Ray Alexander. He then fights his way past 3 Eagles into the end zone, 18 yards, 7-0 for the Dallas Cowboys. They are on top as Alexander would have a big day, as would Steve Pallur. 32 completions for 342 yards in the touchdown. He hits Ray Alexander once again. This one covers 26 yards. And Alexander almost gets this one into the end zone as well before he's knocked out at the 1-yard line. Timmy Newsome then barges in for the touchdown. 14-0 Dallas. Eagles' last 5 games outscored 63-0. One reason, Mike Quick. He's been injured, and he's in the booth, not on the field. Tight end Keith Jackson picks up the slot. This is a tight end, right? Look at him run with the ball after he gets it, bowling people over like a running back and with the speed of a wide receiver. Same drive, ball on the 11-yard line. Randall Cunningham, Gary Cobb tips the ball, but Keith Byers makes the catch, and the Cowboys' lead is now just 20-7. At the end of the half, Dallas is victimized by a lack of timeouts. Pallur completes the pass to Kelvin Martin, but the Cowboys, with 14 seconds left when the catch is made, do not get the play off as they try and down the ball with 1 second left. The Cowboys' lead at the half is just 20-7 as Tom Landry sees a wasted opportunity. Fourth quarter, 23-10. The Eagles on the comeback. Anthony Toney runs into the end zone from 7 yards out. Philly cuts the deficit 23-17. Buddy Ryan's team needs 7 points, down by 6. So Randall Cunningham says, bring in the veteran Jimmy Giles, and I'll go to him. The move pays off. 4th and 8 with 1:50 left. Cunningham finds Giles just enough for the first down. More clutch receiving. Cunningham to Greg Garrity over the middle as he zips it in there. The ball's on the 47, and there's 1:23 left on the clock. Cunningham one more time. Hits Ron Johnson. 20 yards on this play, and the Eagles are now down to the Dallas 28-yard line. The key play, 44 seconds left. Looking for Giles. It's incomplete, but interference is called against Michael Downs, and that was possibly questionable. The officials confer. Tom Landry could not believe it, but life is still breathing in the Philadelphia Eagles. Defensive coordinator Ernie Stotner then starts barking up the signals. 26 seconds left in the game. Ball on the 15-yard line. Cunningham to Greg Garrity, beating Ron Francis, and he comes close to fighting his way towards the end zone, but cannot get it in. They get the ball back, down it, and stop the clock. And the game is in Randall Cunningham's hands, as it has been so often for the great Eagle quarterback. 8 seconds left. Ball on the 2. Cunningham rolls to his right, finds Anthony Toney, who beats Ron Burton 23-23. It's a tie game with 4 seconds left, and the former Cowboy, Luis Zendejas, would come on to kick the extra point. If it's good, they win. It's up. It is good. And the Eagles win it 24-23. The Cowboys now 2-6, lose for the 4th straight time. The Eagles 4-4. And they win a game which they really played poorly. Cunningham was sacked 5 times, and the Eagles got just 65 yards on the ground. Meanwhile, the Giants at Atlanta, and a beautiful day for football, as you can see. Early in the 4th quarter, Joe Morris breaks Alex Webster's all-time Giant rushing record, 4,638 yards. Phil Simms, look where he's lined up. Excuse me, Bart Oates says, could you move over? I'm the center, I'm over here. Thank you very much. And things weren't going well for Simms because it was 3-3 in the 2nd quarter. Falcons workhorse, John Settle, goes 14 yards on the screen. He's been doing a tremendous job for the Falcons this year. They go on to score and go up 10-3. Still in the 2nd quarter, the Giants are driving, and Phil Simms is struggling, as we showed you. This time, at least, he's lined up behind Bart Oates, and he throws his 2nd interception of the half. Bobby Butler makes the pick on this one. The Falcons lead at the half, it's a 10-3 game. The Giants would have problems inside Atlanta's 10. You see the 3 interceptions there tossed by Phil Simms. Maurice Carthon gets stuck. This in the second quarter as he tries to take it to the end zone. And Phil Simms, watch Andre Bruce, the #1 pick, come after him, haul him down for the sack in the third. In the fourth quarter, 4 minutes left, and the Falcons up 16-9. Chris Miller, just back from injury, is picked off as he's hit by Carl Banks. Harry Carson comes up with it, and Miller injured his right wrist. Just back from injury, and he's injured again. 2 players later, Simms to Stephen Baker at the 5-yard line. A big day for Baker. He had 6 catches for 104 yards, and that one set up a Giants touchdown, which tied the game at 7. Hugh Millen had to come in at quarterback for the Falcons to replace Miller. His first pass of the game goes to Carl Banks, who takes it in unmolested for the touchdown. 23-16 Giants with a minute and a half left. Final play of the game. Millen throwing up the prayer as the clock ticks down. Finds Mitchell Haynes, who makes the catch at the 1, but watch the white jerseys corral him there and push him back. He cannot get it into the end zone as time runs out. Millen cannot believe it. 23-16, the Giants get the win. The Giants now 5-3 and have a share of the lead in the NFC East. The Falcons lose for the 5th straight time and are 1-7. Chris.
Some heartbreakers there, John, and for the Falcons, seems when Miller is in the games or any part of the game, they're fine. When he goes out, they don't have much hope, so hopefully he will be all right soon. Let's go on to the Dallas-Philly game. Tommy, Dallas prevent defense at the end of the game. You love it, right?
They play tight, scrappy defense for 58 minutes. They're holding their own. They look like they're on the verge of a win. Then they really want to stop the Eagles at the end of the game. They go into a prevent, give up about 15, 20 yards of pass. All of a sudden, 4 seconds left in the game, it's on the line. You lose. I just don't understand it.
Wait a minute, Tommy. I know that bettors for years have hated the prevent defense. Fans have hated it. But I always assumed some defensive players must have said there's some wisdom to the coaches that are using this.
For a ball player, I think it comes down to getting yourself alienated to trying to stop the offense. The prevent goes against that thinking. It's saying, well, we're going to allow them a little bit of yardage. We're going to allow them a little bit of yardage. I don't think you can do that with a defensive player because they can't change their thinking about stopping the offense.
So what you're saying is, in this case, the prevent defense prevented a win for the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they're 4-4. This is a game they frankly should have lost, but they got out of it, and they're back in the hunt. What does it really mean?
Well, we talked on the game day show, but my feeling that last year Buddy Ryan showed the Eagles that they could be bullies. They could strut onto the field and get something done. Today, as the Landry-Ryan feud continues, part 2, he showed them something else. He showed them that they're a good team, the kind of team that can play far less than its best and still take advantage of things and get the job done.
Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, who are 2-6, their remaining 8 games, you wonder? None of the 8 games remaining on their schedule involve teams with less than a 500 record. This was a real bad loss for the Cowboys. Giants with and without LT on defense. I'd say it makes some difference. Take a look. We'll be back. Welcome back to a calm, cool, and collected prime time. It is not calm, cool, and collected at Joe Robbie Stadium. Dan Marino has just been picked off for the 4th time, but this is after he threw for 521 yards. But it looks like the Jets are going to win the ball game in a real shootout. 44-30 now with just seconds to go. 35 of 60 for 521 for Marino. More on that a little bit later. Another late game played down in the Valley of the Sun. Big game for the Phoenix Cardinals coming off their loss to the Skins. But even bigger for the Cleveland Browns, who went through 4 starting quarterbacks and now are back to #1, Bernie Kosar. Question, though, about Bernie. Did they rush him back too soon? Would he be a little rusty? And maybe would the heat get to him, which on the field was, you see, about the C note. Bernie says, I am cool, calm, and collected. Was he ever? Opening drive, or early in the first quarter. Here, Bernie, it looks awful, doesn't it? But it ggets done. Herman Fontenot, an 11-yard game on a key 3rd down pickup. Then Kosar moves a little bit, and he sends tackle Ricky Bolden out on a tackle eligible 9 of 10, about a half hour into the game. It was a touchdown, and E.J. Jr. and Gene Stallings say, my goodness, is this guy legal? Bernie again scrambling, hits Reggie Langhorne, who comes back to make a great grab. It's Kosar and Langhorne again. This time Bernie throws it long. He wings it kind of 2/3 arm, and it's a 29-yard touchdown strike. A beautiful catch by Langhorne. 14-0 Browns. Bernie in the first half. Yeah, I guess he was on early. Turnovers did hurt the Browns early. Ernest Biner coughs up the football. Cards recover. Sets up a score. Then Freddie Joe Nunn, who's having a nice year for Phoenix, pressures Kosar to throw it right into the arms of Bob Clasby. The Cards have the ball, and one play later, you're going to see something you haven't seen yet this year in the NFL. The Browns defense giving up a touchdown pass. Lomax to J.T. Smith. We're tied at 14. Cleveland in the second half finds the defensive key is Big Daddy Hairston. Sacks Neil Lomax. The fumble, Eddie Johnson recovers. Browns only get a field goal on that play. In the third quarter, a flea flicker. Eddie Johnson breaks through, though, to get a hold of Lomax. He leaves the game with a hip contusion. On comes Cliff Stout. But as the coaching staff looks on, Stout says, don't worry about it. He looks for Robert Awalt, the big tight end. Post pattern, touchdown, 21-20, Phoenix. Marty Schottenheimer says this isn't what we had in mind. But Bernie was not to be denied. He hooks up with Reggie Langhorne, who was his guy on this day. Langhorne with the moves into the end zone for a touchdown. They had a safety. And Cleveland and Bernie Kosar with a major, major win, winning today 29-21. Bernie 25 of 43 for 314 yards. Farrell did have a 100-yard game today, only the second guy in addition to Dickerson to get 100 yards against the Browns. But on a day when the Bengals won, the Browns needed to win to stay two back, and the man is back, Tom.
Browns wanted to stay close until Bernie got back. He's back 300-plus yards, and we might add he did it without his main man, Webster Slaughter.
Yeah, but he found a new main man in Reggie Langhorne. And so the Browns now tied with the Oilers, 2 games behind the Bengals in the AFC Central. Isn't it interesting that Cleveland with Kosar plays the Bengals this coming week? Last 4 seasons, Cleveland stood after week 7 at 4-3. How have they done? How will they do this year? We can't answer all those questions on this show. We'll be right back. We'd like to welcome all of you that have watched the Jets outsling Marino and the Dolphins 44-30. We'll have highlights of that game. That is the final of the afternoon. The Broncos and the Steelers. Well, this was a matchup between the John Elway-less Broncos, going with Kubiak today. They had won 3 in a row, against the Pittsburgh Steelers that had lost 6 straight. And it was a week to bash the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Chuck Noll. But you had to wonder, you're going to back Chuck Noll into a corner? I think I want him on my side next time you get him in that position. Dan Reeves knew what position Noll was in, had the nice tie, but didn't look as marvelous for the rest of the day. Blackledge hands off to Rodney Carter, and he could go all the way. Touchdown. He does go all the way, 64 yards, and the Steelers lead it early. Blackledge was great, wasn't he, Tom?
Yeah, I see him here going off the field, giving the high fives and patting the hands. He did a lot on that play.
Nice handoff. Still in the first quarter, Denver on 3rd and 8 from the 7-yard line. Kubiak from the shotgun. Tommy, on the pregame show, you called him Cool Hand Luke. Maybe Hot Hand Luke. Brian Hinkle with the INT sets up a touchdown. 14-0 Steelers. Rough day for Kubiak. John Elway watching on the sidelines on the inactive list. Todd Blackledge at the controls again for the Steelers. And he goes to number 83, Lewis Lips, who makes an interesting catch. Whoop. And yes, he comes down with it, leads to another touchdown. Denver defense, Tommy, a lot of holes.
Denver defense tried to read and get off those blocks here. You see the middle people getting off a little bit late, leaving the job up to Mike Harden at free safety.
Second half of the game with the Steelers with a big lead. Kubiak steps up in the pocket. But Cornell Gowdy says howdy. And he will go down the field. He will step out at the 12-yard line. Sets up a field goal. The Steelers lead at this point 30-7. Ken Karcher comes in the game in the fourth quarter. And he looks like John Elway, right? 74-yard bomb to Ricky Nattiel makes it 36-21. Karcher in relief threw 428 yards on the TD pass. But it was a record-setting day for Gary Anderson. He had to steal a record of 5 field goals in a game. Doink! When you're hot, you're hot. He caroms in the 6-1, 6 field goals for Anderson. And the Steelers open it up. No huddles, reverses, halfback options. Carter with 105 yards. Steelers 39, Denver 21. Down at Tampa Bay, the Bucs had been getting close. Could they beat Minnesota this time? Sunny day, And this is something you haven't seen before this year. The Bucks scoring in the first quarter. They had 10 points, including that touchdown pass for Vinny to Bruce Hill. 10-7 Bucks. With the game 14-10, Dolman deflects. Tim Newton recovers. It's ruled a fumble recovery, which the next play, Wade Wilson to AC. 81 Anthony Carter. Touchdown, 21-10 Vikes. Later in the second, Vinny trying to get the Bucks back in it. Fires. Picked off. Number 3 of the first half of the Vikings by Joey Browner. And that sets up later on this drive, Wilson to Brown University's Steve Jordan. Second TD of the day, 28-10. Second TD for Wilson, 28-10 Vikes. Vinny trying to rally him. Fourth interception of the first half. Just before the gun goes off, Joey Browner with the pick. With the score 28-13 in the third quarter, Vinny picked off by Brad Edwards. He could go all the way. He does. 37-yard touchdown, 35-13. 6 interceptions by the Vikings of Vinny Testaverde today. The fourth quarter, well, this is just going for broke, but guess what happens? Think a white shirt gets it? Of course. Wyman Henderson, number 24, picks it off. The Vikings, who entered the game with the most interceptions in the NFL, now certainly have the most, with 6 more today, as they get a big game from their defense, a big game from Wade Wilson, who got the start over Tommy Kramer, as they win it 49-20. Wilson, 22 of 30 for 335 yards and 3 touchdowns. This note, a very serious story. Former NFL star, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Terry Bradshaw is undergoing tests to determine the cause of chest pains that forced him to miss his last 2 assignments calling the games on CBS. A Pittsburgh television station earlier had reported that a tumor was found behind Bradshaw's heart during the test at a Dallas hospital. But Bradshaw's wife denied the report in a message left on their answering machine, so he's undergoing more tests, and hopefully it is not serious. And Terry, CBS people say they talked to him on the phone today, and he was in very good spirits, so hopefully the news will be very good. News was good for stats, not on the win column, for Dan Marino of the Dolphins. He threw for over 500 yards, which puts him awfully high on the all-time list. How high? Not as high as the Dutchman, but higher than everybody else. We'll be right back. A pair of West Coast teams in the hunt for playoff berth. The Rams and the Seahawks faced off. Chuck Knox's old squad. Were they nice to him, John?
Yeah, 2 teams, Chris, but in very, very different circumstances. The Rams needed a win just to keep up pace. They started the day a game behind New Orleans, and the Saints had already won. As for Seattle, well, we all know about the AFC West and their 500 mark. The 2 winningest coaches in Rams history faced each other, Chuck Knox for Seattle and John Robinson. He's number 2 behind Mr. Knox. But Robinson would win this battle of the coaching greats from the Rams. Greg Bell up and over from 1 yard out, his 11th touchdown of the year, and he leads the National Football League 7-0. Jim Everett didn't have much of a problem today. Scores now 10-3 Los Angeles. And Everett drops back and looks and tosses this one off his back foot, 37 yards. Del Pino for the touchdown. The point after is good. 17-3 for the Rams. On the other side, it was a tough day for the rookie, Kelly Stouffer. Watch this pass to John L. Williams. Williams absolutely has no chance on this one as it just sails over his head before he even turns around. And Knox lets Stauffer know exactly how he feels about this one, chewing out the young rookie. For John Robinson, a very calm day on the sidelines. Everett would have another good day on the play fake here. Finds Damone Johnson on 4th and goal for the touchdown, wide open in the end zone, 24-3. Los Angeles at the half, and Knox is taking his knocks today. Things didn't get much better. Third quarter, Everett on fire. Hooks up with Willie Anderson. 51 yards on this bomb as he hauls it down before he's hauled down at the 30. On the next play, 32 yards to Aaron Cox. 9 touchdowns in the last 3 games for Everett. It's 31-3 Los Angeles. The game is over. The LA defense was just too much. Doug Reed stops Kurt Warner cold. It was a real sleeper for some of the Los Angeles fans. Chuck Knox was wide awake watching this. He drops to 4-4, but still tied for first. The Rams are 6-2 and 1 back of the Saints. In Milwaukee, the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Redskins. Doug Williams was coming back. He missed 4 weeks because of that appendix operation. Skins wasted a little time. Calvin Bryant, 25 yards on this play. He's been the workhorse the last 3 weeks. He works for this 5 yards, but KB shows he can do it as he cuts back, bounces off a few tacklers, and then picks up 11 more on this one. Kelvin Bryant would have 89 yards rushing in the first quarter. For the Pack, Mikowski was having his problems, looking for Keith Woodside, not even close. Then again, looking for Woodside again, and Woodside will be left looking for the ball, as this one was way out of his reach as well. Mikowski with more trouble. Scrambles, and then watch here, he kind of backhands this one out of bounds as he's being hauled down. Mikowski himself even had to laugh at that play. But late in the second quarter, the Skins are up 10-7. Pack is punting. Derek Shepard is back to haul it in and back to fumble the ball. The Packers recover. They kick the field goal to tie the game at 10-10 at the half. Early in the third quarter now, Williams looking for Don Warren. Warren finds the ball, and Williams finds Warren, but he loses the grasp on it. The Packers recover again, and again in great field position. Don Mikowski now finally in a groove. You saw him miss Woodside twice. Well, the third time is the charm as he runs away from the tacklers and hits Woodside, this time 8 yards on the touchdown, 17-10 Packers. The Skins come right back. Doug Williams looking for who else but Kelvin Bryant. Not only does it on the ground, but is one of the best pass-receiving backs in the National Football League. 13 yards on the touchdown, ties it at 17 apiece. Early on into the fourth quarter, Chip Lohmiller, who's had his problems this year, just barely gets this one inside, but it is in for the field goal. 20-17 Skins. And Max Zendejas missed a 46-yarder earlier. This one would have tied it. He misses it 24 yards out. And the Washington Redskins come out of Milwaukee with the victory, and Lindy Infante has the loss. 20-17 is the final. The Skins now 5-3, tied with the Giants for the lead in the NFC East. In San Diego, the Chargers and the Indianapolis Colts. A great matchup. Both teams were 2-5. Mark Malone for the Chargers against Chris Chandler of the Colts. Chandler struggled early. Tries to avoid the sack. Looks like he should have been in the grass, but he's picked off in the end zone as the ball bounces around. Leonard Coleman finally comes up with it. Then in the second quarter, Chandler drops the pass, wants to go deep. Vency Glenn this time steps in front of the underthrown ball and has the interception. Later in the second quarter, Chandler looks into the end zone. Leonard Coleman again is there to pick this one off. 3 interceptions early for Chandler. The Chargers had their problems as well. Malone throwing the screen to Gary Anderson. He's popped and hit again in midair. Fumbles the ball. The Colts recover, and Al Saunders is not too happy about what his team is doing at this point. Gary Hogaboom comes in to replace Chandler. Chandler left with a concussion, although he might have been pulled anyway with the 3 interceptions. It was not a great day for the rookie from Washington. Late in the half, Eric Dickerson, a guy you can rely on, cuts back for a nice 12-yard gain as Dickerson would have another great afternoon. That would set up a 44-yarder by Dean Biasucci. It's plenty long, and it's plenty good. It's through. A great afternoon for Biasucci as well. Colts led it 6-0. Dickerson carries for another 10 yards. Ron Meyer loves the guy he used to have at SMU. Nothing fancy for Dickerson, but a great day, 169 yards. That sets up this play as Gary Hogaboom drops and looks for Matt Booza. And Booza is there with a great catch and falls into the end zone, 25 yards. The Colts win it 16-0. And what's the difference on the day? The Colts with 453 yards offense, the Chargers with just 239. So the Colts are now 3-5 on the season, Chris.
And Chargers' second home shutout in just a few weeks. Remember last year, everybody taking a shot at the AFC East? Well, this year it's the AFC West. Seattle and Denver, 4-4 in first place. We call it the Moses Malone division. Everyone is foe, foe, foe. We'll be back with more right after this. There was some great contests today, and then there was the one between the Lions and the Chiefs, a game that truly lived down to its pregame billing, as each team had won only once going into today's classic at Arrowhead Stadium. And Darryl Rogers says, well, maybe we can eke one out. Bill Kenny getting the start today for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he is sacked by number 76, Eric Williams, who does, a little bang-bang there. The one good thing you could say about the squads is that the kickers have been perfect all year, and that didn't change. Nick Lowry hit a pair of field goals today. This is a 39-yarder. He hasn't missed in 13 tries this year, field goals. In 10 tries on field goals, 3-0 Chiefs. Kenny throws an INT, though. James Griffin makes the pickoff. And the KC fans, there were only 11,000 no-shows, by the way. We were wrong. It was a very nice day today, and I give the fans a lot of credit. They showed up, and they watched through bags like this one. To make matters worse, 2nd and 5, Rusty Hilger, Jeff Chadwick, and there were more bags out because the Lions led the Chiefs 7-3. Hilger looks to put the Lions even more in the driver's seat with another touchdown on 3rd and goal, but Jack Del Rio picks off the ball. And Del Rio had a big day with tackles today. Frank Gantz looking at time running out. It's a 7-6 game. They have no timeouts to go. Kenny, the flip on 4th down to Christian Okoye. 1st down, but he doesn't get out of bounds. Can they get on the field? Can Lowry try a 65-yard field goal? What will they do? The fans are on their feet. They're whipping their bags off the head. 3, 2, 1. It was 1 second left, but mercy came in. They said, let's end it. TKO in Kansas City. Darryl Rogers and the Lions. Yes, safe. They're safe with their 2nd win of the year. They beat the Chefs 7-6. Game of another sort at Joe Robbie Stadium. Jets and Dolphins. How hot was it? Pair of quarterbacks from the class of '83, Marino and Kenny O'Brien. The Jets lead 3-0 in the first, but Marino to Mark Clayton. This, folks, is a zip of 45 yards. Splits the defense, 7-3 Miami. Clayton with 10 catches on the day for over 150 yards. Kenny O'Brien and the Jets, though, say we've got some offense, and they do with their skilled players all healthy. Vick pitches back to O'Brien to Wesley Walker. Touchdown, 35 yards. The Jets lead 13-10. O'Brien looking through the shade. Well, it's Florida. Marino's turn to look downfield, but an INT by the rookie Eric McMillan. He could go all the way. Turns on the speed. He does go all the way. 55 yards for the rookie. Jets led big at the half, 30-10. It looked like a blowout. But here comes Marino and the Dolphins. He's never out of it. Super duper 55 yards down to the 10. Sets up a Dolphin touchdown. Duper caught 6 for 132 yards. Later in the 3rd quarter, Marino to Clayton this time. It's going to be 11 yards, and it's going to be a touchdown that brings the Dolphins within 37-30. 521 yards, the 2nd biggest day passing stat-wise for any quarterback. Norm Van Brocklin, the only one who has bettered that in NFL history. But Marino went to the well to try and tie the game. Carl Houth, with the interception. And in a wild game, the Jets, you count the Jets out, and here they come. You count the Dolphins in, and there they go. Final, 44-30. The Jets 2.5. The Miami Dolphins 3 back of the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East. When we return, we'll take a look at the standings first, and when we return, we will check out on hits of the day. Well, maybe we'll take some hits. Axe, did he do some hitting today? We'll be back. All right, the Axe was creeping towards the 500 line, 16-18-1. Don't worry, we'll get Mario in soon. And you went with New England, which you won, but you're still upset.
Well, New England did have the worst stratagem of the day. One of the worst. They have this terrific rookie running back, John Stevens. He really came into his own today. Watch this guy. He drives ahead, not only forward, he can do it backwards. This is a drive where he carried 8 or 9 times. Here he comes. Backward, he's dragging those powerful Bills. He's killing himself. The offensive line is knocking itself out. And what do? 3rd down, the big play. The think tank goes into work. Let's give it to Reggie Dupart. He doesn't go forward or backward. He goes sideways, which he's done his whole career. Why did they do this? Well, that's why I keep looking for these angles.
Pittsburgh. Is that what you wanted to talk about?
Well, I admit, on the pregame show, I reported. I did not predict, but I did report. I talked to some people in the division that have suggested the Steelers wouldn't win another game this year. Took them 3 hours to prove that wrong, which is about how long it's taken a lot of people to prove me wrong. One thing I am happy about, I also said, Chuck Noll, the game has definitely not passed him by. Now I'm left only with the dilemma whether it's passed me by.
I don't think so, Axe. I mean, you're still a big fan of all the kickers in the league, aren't you?
Well, I was lucky today because I got Garcia and then I got Zandejas. I mean, what? I don't even care which Zandejas that was. I'm just glad I won those games anyway. That guy for Green Bay, Shank in the case. So these Zandejases, they've done more to destroy the business of feet and shoes than anyone since Imelda Marcos.
And with that being said, how did Axe, who gave out a six-pack today, stack them up? Well, for the day, you were 500, and you know what that means. You hit for the day the Mendoza line.